When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back.
If a generalized black woman is doing this and being this, that is that is irresponsible.
No,
when you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back.
Showing me,
black and proud. Claim your Africanness, black and proud.
I think that if
when you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back.
a page,
what is the status of people who have FBA?
But when you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back.
That's why I was laughing, because I am
claim your Africanness.
I'm not saying the framework doesn't do a thing, but
become a part of it.
We've been
embrace it.
To black men
become a part of it.
Embrace in the control. We
become a part of it.
Only
embrace it.
And those one of the best stories I've ever heard.
Embrace it. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back.
Mental growth takes place. You've been misled by leadership, for instance, that think that you can consume.
When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you.
Peace and power, family. Dr. Daw back up in the house, family. Got a special guest. Yeah. This one right here, family. I needed some backup. I need some emotional support. There's a lot going on out here. And you got to be able to call on, your peoples, you know what I mean? You got to be able to call on your peoples when you need that support, because there's a lot of things going on. And oftentimes we see these conversations from an intellectual perspective, a scholastic perspective, not knowing that these are really wars. It's a war on the minds of our people. So Conversations with Dr. Daw, family, we welcome you. We ask you to come in the building, like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. It's a lot going on, family. But what I want to say is, make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you stay around community, those who can support you, those who can keep you balanced. You know what I mean? Those who can pull your coat, those who you can consult with. I got a community. I mean, even before I got on live today, I was consulting my dear brother, President Everett Winchester, you know what I mean, about some things. I've talked to my dear brothers and sisters in the community, because there's a lot going on. And this FBA Tariq Nasheed thing is absolutely getting out of hand. And one of the things I was thinking about is just a few years ago, I was sharing with people about ADOS and the danger of something like an ADOS. And people really, they like, wasn't taking it as serious as I was saying it was. Mm-hmm. And some people might say that, ADOS is, ADOS is defunct. ADOS is not defunct. Let me just say that. But also let me say this. FBA is a branch or offspring of ADOS. FBA is an offspring of ADOS. So now think about it. I would say that FBA is the more I'm not even going to use the word radical. I heard people use radical last week. They're not radical. They are absolutely status quo. Mm. They are absolutely white supremacy ideology and blackface. So to me, they're not radical. To me, they're doing the job of their master. But again, as I shared yesterday, my brothers and sisters are lost over there. I love my brothers and sisters that's lost over there, but they're lost nonetheless. And again, I come from a paradigm, a framework, a discipline, and a lineage, genealogy of scholars and practitioners, warriors and freedom fighters that understood that understood the predicament of our mind, that understood the predicament and the falsification of African consciousness. Shout out to Baba, Dr. Amos Wilson. Family, make sure you come in and you like and share and subscribe to this video. Make sure you share this in your chats. Make sure you put it in, on your Facebook page, your Instagram. Do all the things, family, because we're gonna have a dynamic discussion. And when I say dynamic, I mean we're gonna really have a serious talk. It ain't about entertainment. It ain't about look. I might open the chat up for the president if he asks.
Open it up, brother. It's important.
But what I will say is this. Because, and when I mean chat, I mean the line, the link and all that type of thing. If he's okay with that. But I want to say, let me give some shout outs to two dear brothers here, new members. I just opened up the new member section of the page. Please go there and subscribe. I go and I give diatribes and all that type of thing on, just a little bit more uncut than what we have here. So I want to welcome Mr. K as a member. I think he was the first member. And then we have Brother Jadarian. I think he's the second. I want to say appreciate you joining. Okay, Dr. Ball, the infamous, has joined as well. Give thanks. But I definitely want to have a serious conversation, And over the last few weeks, it's been kind of interesting, And what I will say is don't allow yourself to become bitten by the FBA, by FBA people, where you start turning on each other, where we start turning on one another. Sure. Now, I think there's a difference between trying to wake people up. Yes, Dr. Ball, the infamous. Look, right now, look, we waiting for you to come back, Dr. Ball. The people are asking for you. You're infamous, Look, at this moment, I think you have the you have the top charted video on Conversations with Dr. Daw, the infamous Dr. Ball. You know what I mean? But yeah, or maybe famous. Let me just say famous, because some people might say that's to mean infamous. The famous Dr. Ball. I mean, but no, I really appreciate Dr. Ball and all the work that he does. And the struggle that he goes through, and, also aiding in the African awakening or consciousness or what have you, of our people. Come in a long line of freedom fighters and warriors and warriors. But yeah, so I have discipline, I wanted to say. And what I mean by the discipline is that I'm not here to tear my brothers and sisters apart, although I know that they are being manipulated. But this is what I'm going to do, family. Today's topic is Tariq Nasheed's. Hold on, what's the topic today, y'all? I had a whole nice one. Hey, hold on, where's my phone at, y'all? It sound better than this. But anyway, it was like the attack. You got it, brother?
I'm pulling it up.
When I introduce my dip.
Tariq Nasheed, Marcus Garvey attack. Marcus Garvey's attack.
Look at the language right under it.
Let me see.
You gotta put them glasses on.
President E. Winchester responds. That's all I got.
Let me see that. Let me see it real quick. Oh, okay. No. Can you go to my Can you go to your text message and look at the flyer I put out? I just want to make sure I say it right, because it has a ring to it. You know what I mean? And in the meantime, in between time, what I want to do is say this, because this is important too, as we open the lines up today.
So let's talk about the tools that people pull out when their argument has no backbone. Hello, my name is Dr. Raquel Martin. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, professor, scientist, and podcast host. And if you're here, you're here to learn. So let's talk about what people start doing when logic has left the building. Tone policing. Dismissing someone's message by focusing on their tone rather than the content of what they said. Now, this works because it distracts from the issue by framing the speaker as too emotional or too rude.
I mean, I'd listen to you if you weren't so aggressive. Can you at least smile when you say this?
Moving the goalposts. Changing the criteria for winning an argument after the person has already met that criteria. And the reason why this works is because it makes it impossible for the other person to win, no matter what they provide.
Actually, I've decided that in order to believe you, you now have to provide a thesis, 3 peer-reviewed articles, and a signed affidavit from Beyonce.
Gish Gallop. Overwhelming the conversation with a rapid-fire series of weak or half-baked arguments to make it impossible to move forward. Now, this works because it creates the illusion of being well-researched while also overwhelming the person responding.
Okay, but what about the economy and crime rates and that one article from 2006 and my aunt's Facebook post? Checkmate.
Appealing to authority without any kind of context. This is citing an authority figure to shut down the debate, even if they're not an expert in the relevant field, or if the context is missing, or if it's been so long since they stated that. The reason why this works is because people tend to trust credentials more than digging deeper and seeing if that person actually said what that person said that they said.
Well, a man with doctor in his username said it on YouTube. So are you saying that they lying to me, that doctors don't know the truth?
Bait and switch. Now, this happens when someone starts with one topic and then subtly changes it to another related but pretty different point to make their position seem more defensible. And it works because it's sneaky. So you end up arguing something you didn't even bring up in the first place.
No, I know we were talking about unequal pay, but now I want to debate whether people should just negotiate better. What are your thoughts on that?
False equivalence. Claiming two things are morally or factually equal when they are not. And it works because it makes the argument seem more balanced or rational when it's actually avoiding moral accountability.
I mean, sure, one side is lighting fires and the other is showing light with flashlights, but light is light, right?
Red herring. Introducing a completely unrelated topic to distract from the real issue. And this one works because it diverts energy and attention, usually to something that's incredibly emotionally charged.
Okay, but before we talk about your point, let's talk about your tone, your GPA, and what you wore in 2011, because I could have sworn I saw you in some gauchos.
When you know these tactics, you stop falling for the bait. You don't have to argue, prove, or perform. You know when to opt out, because there's a difference between conversing with a brick and a sponge. People using these tactics don't want to absorb anything that you're saying. Now, I barely scratched the surface. And I feel like we'll be doing a lot of challenging and debating in the upcoming years. So if you want a part 2, comment a movie or a TV show that you've watched more than 3 times.
So, President Everett Winchester, what it is?
We got a lot of stuff to talk about, Doc.
Yeah, did you get the title? You put it back in your pocket?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me pull that up. That's important.
Hey, we wanted to, I lost my phone, y'all. I'm praying that but Anita Baker, though.
You got Tariq Nasheed's Marcus Garvey attack. President Everett Winchester's back to set it correct.
All right, family. That's what we're going to do. And with no further ado, let's talk to the people. Let's reintroduce. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is President Winchester. That's his name. What makes you essential to this conversation, dear brother?
Well, peace and blessings. Just call me Brother Everett. I am the president of the Baltimore division of Marcus Garvey's UNIA ACL, and I'm also Minister of Information for the UNIA ACL globally. I'm a Garveyite. I'm a Garvey Cub. I love Marcus Garvey. For us in the UNIA, Marcus Garvey is the greatest man ever to walk the face of the earth, bar none. He believed in bringing everybody a melanin color together, not division, economically, loving each other. So when I hear people start division among people that look like themselves with that same melanin, it hurts here. Marcus Garvey was young and traveled the earth at a very young age. And he saw that wherever he went, Black people were on the bottom.
They respect you.
So, he wanted to make sure that we united, came together, because everybody was against us. And so when I see division amongst our people, with all of this stuff going on in the world, it hurts right in the heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. So let me just show you all something that and I appreciate that, President Winchester. You say just call you brother, but you know, I don't always follow. I don't always follow those rules. Me and Dr. Ball always go back and forth with that as well. But I just want to show y'all something before me and the dear brother president get into things. I want to show you Tariq Nasheed's YouTube page. And I want to show you his antics. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't even touch it yet, right? We didn't even touch it too far. But you already saw the stereotypes and the caricatures that he's presenting about our brothers and sisters, continental. See, this is white supremacy tactics. Tethered Troll got caught lying. Then this happened. You know, this is I guess the most latest video. This is why foundational Black American is dominating I don't know what it says here. But look, I mean, he even has like, I don't know what he has here, but you can just imagine that he has a lot of hate for a lot of different people. A lot of different people identify in different ways. I guess this has something to do with gender or something like that. I don't know, sexuality. I mean, he just has a lot of hate. The truth about Marcus Garvey. UK Garveyite was not ready for this debate. You know what I mean? Like, just think about it. He has like this is all intentional, and I'm going to do a breakdown. Next week, speaking to the mind control that he's offering here. So the UK is very intentional. He puts that in there. He says, I don't say all of them, but see, he plants these seeds in your mind very intentionally. When you see UK, you see the black lady, you see her finger out there, her mouth open, he knows what he is doing. He can say, I didn't say it, but when imagery is very important and is lasting on the mind. Next, he has Tariq Nasheed educates a Ghanaian immigrant. So he knows that this, just look at it. This is what they did to make us seem extreme. I'm talking about our ancestors. I'm talking about the minstrels and the black faces and all the different things that we know about, but somehow we are okay with this. Somehow we justify that this is okay. Haitian male nurse gets hostile. If you notice, every last one of the people up until this point, most of them, either he's trying to make them look a certain way. He enlarges heads. He does all types of things, or he finds certain individuals with certain characteristics to highlight. And in fact, I think all of this is probably AI generated. So he's probably asking for certain features. Look, and if you notice these three here, everybody's mouth is open and looks angry. And then y'all look, and then we act like we don't see this. We justify this. I am arguing, I maintain that at this point, every person who say that they are Pan-Africanists, we have to really consider this and what this is doing to our people. We have to consider whether or not we do work with these people, because this is very anti-Pan-Africanist, and I've been telling people forever. I've been telling, not forever, but I've been arguing this thing that we talked about the people that he's attacking, but he's not attacking a people, he's attacking an ideology. Last week I showed you where he tried to bring up these CIA infiltrated organizations as if that was the Pan-Africanist issue. Like Pan-Africans are responsible for the CIA starting fake Pan-Africanist organizations, which is counterinsurgency, which is counterintelligence. So now you get blamed for someone setting up an example of the Black Panthers here. All the people who worked in it, most of them probably were genuine, but the CIA set it up. You understand what I'm saying? What's the dear Bible who passed not too long ago? Y'all help me out. Conway, was it Eddie Conway?
Mm-hmm.
So then you're gonna blame Eddie Conway? And I heard he had to pay repercussions for actually calling this out.
That's crazy.
So this is what Tariq does, and we're okay with it. I'm not saying we're all okay with it, but I'm saying we acting like, oh, this is nothing. Look at it. He has 3 people here. They all of them got their fingers pointed. Look at it. He's asking for these images via AI. There's no happenstance that their mouths are open. They're pointing their fingers, and he making them look angry, and he ties their nationality or their ethnicity to the image. And this is and then we have people out here who are look, we have to stop working with them. I'm suggesting that all Pan-African people from this point, if you Pan-Africans, you're gonna have to stop. Or you're gonna have to call it out. You got to do both. Because calling out this level of warfare on us, it should not be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem to call out this. This is even if you believe that he's productive, even if you think he did something productive, even if you believe he did something productive, okay, hold 2 places.
Let me ask you why you was on that page, Doc.
You want to go back there?
Go back to that page real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking. I don't see anybody that he's going at that's Jewish. I don't see any characters of Jewish people. I don't see anything that's really going at anybody else but us. Look how he's making our people look.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at some point, that's what a white man would do.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, that's what somebody that hates Black people would do.
White supremacy.
White supremacy.
Ideology.
That's something that an agent would do.
Mm-hmm.
If you would tell me that a man is doing characters of Black people, making them look ignorant, making them look angry, talking about division, Black people, people from Africa, people from Jamaica, people that look like us, is that helping us grow? Or is that a destruction type of thing? You know, you could talk about all your beliefs about FBA or whatever, and the differences. All people have differences. All people have arguments and things of that nature. But I thought it was our duty as a man, as Black people, Black men and Black women, to bring us together. What is this doing but hurting and creating more confusion? I'm looking at that. That's terrible. Look at these characters of our people and the things that he's saying. It's not only hurtful, it's dangerous.
Now check this one out.
It's dangerous.
Brother President, check this one out.
Go ahead.
The one that doesn't look angry, doesn't look bad, who are they? Who are they? Are Black American ICE agents sellouts for doing their job? Look at them. He makes them look like just innocent people doing their job. And you telling me that this guy's not weaponizing media?
It's awful.
He's a cult of personality. He's a cult leader. And I'm going to break this down if people don't understand this. I'm going to break it down next week, perhaps, or the week after that, Just look at it. I mean, it only takes, like, how can you deny that he's anti-African, anti-Caribbean, anti-Pan-Africanist? Look. He got somebody on there for you. He got he got a white person in. Watch the fast meal caller got destroyed for attacking black. I don't know. He have to sometimes he has to put somebody there so that he can counter attack what you just said. Oh, he'll put a white person there every now and again, and he'll actually give a compliment to a black person or person from the islands or the continent just to say, I said something positive, because he's playing mind control. He's mind control. He think he's slick. I even realized, since I've been calling out the idea that he's an influencer, that he's now taking the influencers not in his on his profiles anymore.
Wow.
I only saw it on one place. I have screenshots of it. But see, because he listens to these things and people say, oh, Tariq don't even know you exist. You better believe Tariq know that I exist. In fact, if he calls out the people in Baltimore, he's calling out myself and Brother Unk.
Well, Baltimore, believe it or not, has a very strong Pan-African
Absolutely.
community. We have a strong Pan-African community. We have elders that's been doing it for a long time. If you're not even an elder, it's a lot of people that's been doing work in the community for a long time to uplift all of us together. We have a strong Jamaican community. We have a strong African community. So whenever we can all come together and be as one and support each other, that's a beautiful and lovely thing. Why would you separate that? So you're going to attack Baltimore off the gate. You're going to talk about all the negative things, but you're not going to talk about the positive work in the community. And that's something that's destructive. You know, that's destructive if you want to say you're FBA.
Absolutely.
That's destructive. Like, how are you not trying to build and uplift a community by talking about them, by creating division, by trying to go to war with each other, by talking about the honorable Marcus Garvey, the honorable Marcus Garvey? What are you getting out of that? But to create more confusion, to create more clickbait for arguments, to have people follow you. And that's not cool. That's division. That's not love. That's not Black power.
That's not Black power.
That's not Black power. You know, if you look at all the great scholars, they'll tell you that it's economic global power that we need. We can't do it alone here. They can't do it alone there. And what the white man does, the people in power do, they separate us. They separate us here by the gangs and by the cities and by the east side and the west side, north, south. They separating us now by Jamaica, FBA, African. They know we're tribal by nature, and so they try to use division instead of us understanding that and coming with unity. They come with such a negative hate program, and he's the part of that. You know, you can't say you're a righteous brother and not say, okay, yeah, this African says something negative, but we're gonna ignore that because I know some good Africans that want to unite with us. Where's the building? You just destroying. You just putting forth negativity, and we as a people have to stop feeding into that. The people that are supposed to be his supporters have to stop feeding into that, because what you're doing is you're hurting people that look like you. You're talking about people that look like you. People have died. People have sacrificed for us to come together. And there's no time with the things we're going through today. There's no time for division. And that is painful. It's painful and harmful for what he's doing to our people. And it's not a good look. And as you know what we say, if that was someone that was hurting us in the street, they will have to get dealt with. We are at that point.
Absolutely.
You are at that point where you're causing division among our people globally. This is hurtful, but you have to get dealt with. These people are agents, whether you like it or not, whether you try to play both sides or not. And he does that. He tries to play both sides, like you say. He'll say a little here, he'll say a little there. But everything I've been hearing from him has been negative speaking, division. I haven't heard anything about him unifying our people in a long time. And I don't know if it's a money thing. I don't know if it's an agent thing, but I can tell you it comes from a place of pain, hurt, and division, and we don't have time for it. And he's a smart man. He's a smart man because you could tell how he's doing things on his page. He's a smart man. He's a strategic man, and he's tactical. And we don't have, with all of that I'm giving him compliments for, bring us together, brother. If you can't bring us together, don't divide us. If you feel that Pan-Africanism and people coming together that look like each other globally is a problem, then don't speak on it. Let us do what we need to do. Marcus Garvey said, we can't bring everybody with us.
Right.
So let us do what we got to do. We think what we're doing is positive. Stop looking at every little thing to create division, to break down what somebody's trying to do to build. Man, we do a lot of work in our community in the name of Marcus Garvey. So why are you breaking that down? You should be uplifting. Hey, man, I don't got, I had some differences with Marcus Garvey, but they're doing powerful work and uplifting our community for people that look like us all over the world. They got divisions all over the world. Yeah. Why are you breaking it down to destroy us? Let us do what we do. You do what you do, but don't break us down. Don't divide us. That's divide, conquer, and the strategic.
Let me jump in there.
It's awful because
I want to give a shout out real quick. Darkest Brandon, I'm trying my best to give the super chats a shout out because I'm trying to do both. I have a special guest in the studio today, so I can focus a little bit on both. But Darkest Brandon, thanks for the super chat. What he says here, I'm assuming is that he stay blessed and speak the truth. The amazing Lucas and has called him out, and he made the Black Vote Watch page stay calm. I think brother President Winchester and I both agree on that last part, especially stay calm and renew your mind, right?
Sure.
We definitely agree with that. And one of the things I would say, though, to kind of respond to something you said is I personally don't believe he can do anything else, and he is doing what he does. So, pardon. There's quite a bit of things I could say different. I'm very technical, but I won't do that today.
Go in, though, brother. Go in.
I'm very technical with things, but I will say that one, like from a personality perspective, he is doing what he does. Because I don't want people to think that he's capable of doing anything else. He is a professional grifter. How do you say the word? He's a professional grifter. He's been doing it for a long time. Ain't no stopping him now. He's on the move.
He's great. I think the sad part is, and I've said sad, harmful, hurt the heart a lot tonight. I think the worst part about it is that it seems like he wants to keep going on. I've heard that he's gone into it with Professor Smalls.
Yeah.
I've heard he's taking people out of Hidden Colors.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've heard that anybody that goes against some of the things he's doing, he's taking them out now. Whether that's righteous or not, or rightful, that's his project. But from what I'm understanding, I don't have Dr. Smalls destroying his character without some kind of knowledge behind it. With some kind of, hey, I don't like the way you're doing this. I don't like the way you're doing that. I can't see a brother like Professor Smalls not speaking to him about it.
Absolutely.
So when you go into that depth, you're really saying, man, whoever's not with us, whoever's trying to say or give me any knowledge or any information of things I can check myself on. We all need to be checked.
Yeah.
I get checked by the leaders of the UNIA all the time, brother.
Absolutely.
You might have been wrong with that. You should have came at it this way. Change. So we have to worry about that part with him. We have to understand what he's doing. And right now, it's a time for unity. It's a time that we need to come together. And anybody that's coming in that way,
Mhm.
You know, we have to make a strong stance against.
We definitely have to make a strong stance again, and I'm arguing that anybody who claims to be Pan-Africanist needs to stand with us.
Without a doubt.
You know what I mean?
Without a doubt.
Because it's too much evidence against
Here's
this.
the thing. Here's the thing, Doc. Even if you're not Pan-African,
absolutely,
you could be 100% FBA and believe. You may not be. You may say, "Look, I'm a black man. I think I'm not from Africa, whatever the case may
absolutely,
be."
I agree.
You know, I don't believe in that going back to Africa stuff. Y'all can go back to Africa, but you're still a black man.
No, the problem,
you still shouldn't be trying to hurt other black people.
See, but FBA has. If you're FBA, you part of the. You know, you've signed up for the cult. But I mean, I don't expect them to do anything different. But hopefully they can. I do. You know, I'm being a little technical there, but yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I do in that because I think it's essential what you're saying, because what you're saying is I don't want to limit it to that, because most of us, whether or not we ascribe to those labels, are showing FBA that they're not winning. Somebody said they're winning. The reality is they're not winning because and they lose, and he's losing his mind because even those mainstream brothers and sisters in our communities who are mainstream platforms, look, they call me a Democratic shield. You know, one of my #1 followers is frustrated with me because of my opinion about voting. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, this guy is tricky. I don't want, you know, okay, let's get into the words. Like, I don't know if he's smart, but he's tricky. He's manipulative, and it does take a certain level of intelligence, I would say, or some type of as Farrakhan calling you wickedly wise, or what. I wouldn't even give him wickedly wise, but nonetheless, I would just say he's very manipulative, and to be manipulative, it takes a certain level of intellectual faculty.
I will say this even more. I believe he's very intelligent. Never underestimate your enemy. Never underestimate somebody and the things that he's doing. You cannot do that.
It just depends, though,
this man
on what
has people that believe in some of the things he's doing. They're following him. They're watching him. And the sad thing is, is there's a couple of people that are just neutral that just maybe just learning and just jump on that bandwagon. And we got to help them people come on board and understand, like, yo.
I think the word manipulative is why I said you don't underestimate a manipulative person.
Yeah,
and it depends on how you define a word. Because I can imagine some brothers and sisters here saying, well, you know, he's not, because it just depends on how you define the word. But I mean, he's not smart to me, but he might be intelligent. He might be whatever, but he's definitely manipulative.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And so you don't underestimate a person that's manipulative.
We can go there for sure.
But let's do this. I want to we're gonna family put the link in the chat, but we're gonna hold off for a minute. And again, I hope you saw the show. Look, let me just keep it a buck. I ain't for all the if you come in here and you think this is your platform, you're on the wrong platform. If you come in here and think that I'm not going to facilitate the show, this ain't the platform for you. If you think that I'm doing things too weak and I'm considering my FBA brothers and sisters and how they hurt, as President Winchester said, he can see the hurt and pain in our people. You know what I mean? Our people are lost and follow these things. I'm trying to raise the consciousness of my people, not kill them. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm trying to raise the consciousness of my people, and I'm not trying to raise the emotional, what's the word, y'all? I'm not trying to put them in a state of perpetual fear. I want them to have reasonable caution, but not operating out of a place of fear and anger where they will produce the very thing that we're fighting. Because, you know, most FBA, as I said, most FBA ain't gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight, but that doesn't mean that the most extreme of them won't. So let's do this real quick, because they have a leader that will encourage them and incite them to do some very violent things. So let's go, Hero. I want to hear your opinion about this.
How do you discern a black immigrant in respect of someone like Marcus Garvey, for example?
Now, what about Marcus Garvey?
Well, I would have thought that given whether it's Malcolm X or Dr. Martin Luther King, they respected the work he did in America.
Foundational Black Americans got Garvey's ass up out of here. Now, you have an image of his wife, one of his wives. That's Amy, right? The first Amy? Or the second?
That's the second.
Now, you know that second Amy was the first Amy's, one of her best friends. That was her maid of honor at her wedding. That was her roommate. So he was having an affair with the woman in the picture that you have with the first wife. So that shows the character of Garvey. Garvey was really a funny style dude. And they got him up out of here because he was up here meeting with the Klan. They called him a foreign Negro. They knew he was a tether. He was talking about how this is the white man's land and we didn't build it. He was talking about we didn't build nothing over here. So yeah, we said he got to get the hell up out of here. So yeah, Garvey was a big fat musky tether.
And where did you get that history from, Tariq?
Oh, this is
what you hold on. You know, let me let her play it. Let me let her rock out a little bit. Then I'll turn it back
very
over.
well documented. There was a whole movement of Garvey must go. Right?
No, the information, I'd say the disinformation that you've just said in respect.
What was what did I say that was incorrect, ma'am? Tell me one thing I just said incorrect.
You said that he was having an extramarital affair while still married to his first wife.
Right, with that woman in that picture. Yes, he was. That's why she divorced him.
No. He was with his first wife, having known her for 5 years before they were married. Okay? He dissolved the marriage or sought a divorce within 2-3 months of them being married. The reason he sought the divorce from his first wife was because he was aware of her having extramarital affairs and possibly being pregnant by somebody else, but was prepared to stay with her. But the reason he decided to go ahead with the divorce proceedings was because while he was away on business, a colleague of his got suspicious of Amy Ashwood's behavior. She was flirting with other men.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it there. And I saw, you know what, someone made a great comment that I've been thinking about and considering myself. It says he's been using actors. I do believe that some of the people that call in are actors. You know, because he's a master manipulator.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? First of all, shout out to both Amy's because they did a lot of work in the community. We're looking at a brother. We're talking about a great man, and we're talking about his marital affairs. I don't like to talk about Martin Luther King's marital affairs because the work he's done for our people is what I'm about. So you're calling him fat and ugly, which you're also demoralizing a black man. You're calling him ugly. You're talking about FBA got him out of here. You're talking about his marital affairs, but you're not mentioning the work that he did in the community. You're not mentioning that Martin was known to be a cheater. Are you pushing that narrative out to the public? You're going after Marcus Garvey. That's what you're doing. The sister said a lot of great, powerful things there. But I want to also mention the fact that he got married to his second wife in Baltimore. UNIA convention this year, we'll be visiting that church. But going back into some powerful things, why would you? What difference does it make what he did in his bedroom and how he did it with his love life?
Do you have?
I'm not worried about Martin Luther King, what he did with his.
Have you heard
life.
about these affairs before?
Yes, I've heard from different sides of what happened. I say the marriage didn't work out. Give love to Amy A.
Are you certain though that the affair actually happened?
I would say that I wasn't there. We talking about 1920s.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear people that love Marcus Garvey, people that love Amy A, people that love Amy J.
Yeah,
and you're gonna hear all of these things.
Right.
I also don't talk about it was people defending Martin Luther King. I'm not into that. I can only look at the great work that they've done, and I'm definitely not going to critique the man for having issues with his marriage.
Yeah,
I'm not. I mean, like, as you heard, you're going to hear a whole bunch of things. That's their business. They were married.
Right. We never know all the ins and outs.
You're never going to know all the ins and
even
outs.
For her, right? Like, I don't like either side. Like, say she did have the marital affair. I don't think we should demonize her either.
Can't do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold up. First of all, she did a lot of powerful work.
Yeah.
Both Amy's did a lot of powerful work for our community.
Right.
But now you're talking about you're bringing her down because she might have had an affair with Marcus Garvey. Now you're trying to bring Marcus Garvey down because you're saying that he was doing some trifling things in this marriage. I know one thing for sure. When you're a revolutionary, back then, they probably was away from each other a lot.
Yeah.
They probably was doing a lot of community work.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there was a strain on that.
Absolutely.
You know, so we have to look at those things and we have to understand.
You're
really going into a person in his marriage. I'm sure this brother has issues in his life sometimes with his marriage.
Yeah.
We all do. We're human beings. We're human beings. And then to say that FBA got, so the white man had nothing to do with Marcus Garvey getting out of here. FBA deported him, huh? Come on, brother. They wanted to get, Hoover called them the Black Moses. The Black Moses? But now you're trying to say that FBA got him out and things of that nature. And one of the leaders, I struggle sometimes even speaking to him, the NAACP, a lot of those leaders were against Marcus Garvey. But what happened at the end? Some of those greatest leaders said, you know what, he was right. We're talking about uplifting the people that look like us globally. And to bring up a marriage, to bring up a brother that started businesses that Black people can't start today, shipping companies, black dog companies, restaurants, hotels. Back then in the 1920s, and to break them down, why? That we always had, there's always a why behind this. If Marcus Garvey had so many followers, and Marcus Garvey built the biggest and strongest organization to this day for our people globally, and you're going to sit and break them down and destroy them when there's so much good you can get out of the UNIA and Marcus Garvey. Why? What's your purpose? What's your purpose?
What did you say it is?
I think it's division. I think he's an agent. I think he's not trying to unify people at all. I think he's going in and he's looking at every little thing. But how could you do that and not mention the things in our FBA community, if you want to say that, of our leaders that have had issues? I mean, you're going to break down every Black leader and it's no positive information that you're giving. There's only hate. Where's the building of our nation?
One of my concepts from my Ingia theory, philosophy, and model is, and you know, if you've heard me say this before, and I think we should really take heed to what I'm saying here, because I realize a lot of us give too many people too many damn passes, and Tariq is one of them, because he made a documentary that is full of BS. I'm sorry, it got some decent things in there too. And we like a lot of stuff that's not real. That's okay. I mean, it's fun. That's cool. I'm not going to mess with the fun. But we give him we give people who produce things as shiny and polished too many chances. We give people who talk good too many chances. We give people too many chances. Like, there's no reform in this brother. I'm sorry. There is no reform in this brother unless something happens to him drastically. Okay, he is in survival mode, and he will rob you, because all that you see before you is someone who is a afraid little boy inside. He is a version of Donald Trump in Black.
Go ahead, you flowing, Doc.
I'm flowing.
You flowing. I'm gonna tell you why. Because
and hold on, let me get to this and then I'm gonna trap.
Go ahead.
So in geo theory, we speak about we have to be able to distinguish between flaws and frauds. And I think we hold people and their flaws accountable. Garvey, me, you, whoever. We hold all of us accountable. We hold us accountable. If I do something like that on my wife, hold my ass accountable. And hopefully I don't traumatize my wife half to death. But at the end of the day, I know there's some trauma and it's a very stressful situation. As you said, people are traveling and all these type of things. You know, the stress that comes with the movement, the stress that comes with the work. Hold me accountable. Hold Garvey accountable. But that is a human flaw, which is different than being a human fraud.
Bam.
So what I am saying is Garvey may have some flaws. You might not even agree with his philosophy all the way. I've looked and I've examined, and whether I agree totally or not, I haven't seen the fraud that they're speaking to. I have seen the flaws that nobody hides.
He's a man.
Even decisions that he's made economically. Economic decisions. People hold him accountable. Even people in the UNIA, his own son, I've even heard him speak to it. The historians, I've heard him speak to it. So these are flaws, if you want to use that term. But a fraud should never and doesn't have the ability or should be respected to hold somebody who has flaws accountable. What I am saying is he is projecting, I'm talking about Tariq Nasheed, his fraudulence onto Garvey's flaws.
I think the brother doesn't care who he hurts.
Absolutely.
I think the brother wants to hurt our people and not have us unified. And that's his bag right now. And he's intentionally going after Garvey because he knows a lot of people globally love Garvey. So why not go at Garvey? Why not go at him? But you can't challenge his work. And he's going to try. He's going to come up with something else to dissect it. But I don't hear you saying he says race first. Absolutely. And black people come together all over the world. I don't hear him say that how black people need to start supporting each other and build economically. I don't hear him saying that, not just in America, not just in Jamaica or the Caribbean, all over the world. I don't hear him saying that. Yo, that's powerful. You know, he's coming at the man and his character flaws. You know, next, what you going to do next? Talk about Elijah Muhammad and his character flaws?
No, he takes up for his.
See what I'm saying?
Because he's quote unquote FBA.
That doesn't make sense.
He rationalizes the reasons why Elijah Muhammad was different, and he even rationalizes in this video. We'll continue to play it a little bit to kind of get you deep into it. So I'm feeling real heavy today about this, and looking at that page. Go ahead, brother.
I was going to say what he's doing is disrespecting Marcus Garvey because Marcus Garvey's saying we all need to come together. He's going to rationalize everybody else. It doesn't make sense. We all have flaws, but that doesn't take away from their greatness. And to me, I mean,
say it.
To me,
say it. Just go ahead and say it. Just go ahead and say it. I know what you're about to say.
all I'm gonna say is I'm praying for the brother.
Yeah.
Because these type of things can really bring harm to you. You know, I'm praying for the brother because you're doing something that's very destructive. And there's a lot of people that love Marcus Garvey that believe that we all should come together, you know, and it's going to come a time when you're going to have to fess up to that. It's going to come a time when you're going to have to fess up to that. And you're going to meet somebody that's not about money or clickbait. That's about survival and unifying our people. And you're going to have to justify some of the things you're saying. We're going to have to take a stand. You know, what you're saying and what he's saying is not making sense to unifying people that look like us. This isn't about reparations. This isn't about anything. We talking about global power. We talking about when I go over to Africa, or when I go to Jamaica, or when I go to Mexico, or wherever, Brazil, and there's a black person there, they're going to take care of me and look out for me and love me. And we're going to build economically and start talking about supporting each other and building businesses together and building items and supporting and becoming a global power. And you're destroying that and breaking that down. That doesn't make sense.
Let's
make sense.
Check this one out, Brother President. It says, this person says, this false analysis is why nobody supports Pan-Africanism anymore. Because his daddy told him that, he believes it. I mean, like because his daddy told him that this comment right here, see, this is the indoctrination of Tariq Nasheed. This false analysis is why nobody supports Pan-Africanism anymore. He believes that. Like, the fact is, they saw some of the greatest acts of Pan-Africanism. Well, let me not say the greatest, but some acts of Pan-Africanism happen over the last week, and they're running wild about the Ghanaian president coming and doing his thing at the UN. You know, whether you agree or disagree about it or what have you, they couldn't deal with that. They were running like cockroaches. So he says this false analysis is why nobody supports nobody.
That's crazy.
Nobody supports Pan-Africanism anymore.
That's crazy.
They say, shaking my head, y'all lack truthfulness. Bottom line, Garvey was a scammer. Now listen, I know you're coming.
All right.
I can see it. But the reality is you were very honest here today. And you say you don't know what's going on in anybody's bedroom. You actually say, you know, we all have flaws. And you also, like, hold up. Your leader, Tariq Nasheed, like, are you serious? Like, his flaws are worse. We're not even gonna get to the level of that he's a fraud. He's a fraud for so many reasons. He's a fraud because he is not who he projects himself to be. He's a fraud because he takes money and he manipulates your mind, and he's keeping his lifestyle. He doesn't. I agree with you. He doesn't care about anybody. I'm saying you can see that on the level of personality. You understand? I'm saying that we must study, and I'm going to do this video next week. That he is a cult of personality. He is a cult leader. He is look it up. He's a cult leader. I'm sorry, my FBA brothers and sisters. I don't mean to hurt you, but he is a scam artist. He's a cult leader, just like Donald Trump is. It says, bottom line, this person says, Garvey was a scammer. He was not respected by the black leaders during that time.
That's crazy.
100% FBA. Go ahead.
You're 100% FBA, right? So if you was in London and you saw a black man from London getting beat up by white people, would you jump in or would you watch? Or would you just watch and let the white people beat him up? What side you on, brother or sister? What side you on?
You know they watch. Come on now.
Yeah, they watch because you don't care about your people that look like you. See, we got to stop. I'm a Pan-Africanist. I'm a UNIA Garveyite. So let's get that straight. But let's separate the names for a minute. I'm talking about people from my lineage with melanin that look like me. I love them. Don't always get along with them. Some of them hurt me, but that's my family. My race is my family. I'm not going to let anybody destroy my race to come between us. And if you telling me that you'll sit here and argue with me about being a Pan-African and talk about the work that Marcus Garvey has done and unifying not just people in America, but people all over, what's your purpose in life? What are you trying to do to uplift us economically, globally? You're thinking small. You're thinking division. And I'm going to tell you straight off the bat, Pan-Africans growing stronger. The UNIA is growing stronger. We're building economically all over. And I feel sorry that you're not going to be a part of this train because you're thinking small-minded and you're thinking division. You don't trust people. So I don't think that you would do anything if you was in Miami and saw a brother getting beat up by white people. You wouldn't know if he was Haitian. You wouldn't know that if he was Jamaican. You wouldn't know if he was from Brazil. So how are you going to help him or not? You not. If somebody looks like us and they catching hell by this beast, by this oppressor, we fighting. I'm fighting for unity for all of the people that look like me. I don't have time for division. I don't have time for hate. I'm trying to build, not destroy. And if you're in the way trying to destroy, I'm looking at you like an agent, and you're going to get dealt with. That's where we at with it. We trying to build. And then you trying to break us down, talking about we don't need to come together. What kind of sense does that make? You're not making sense. You saying ignorant stuff. You breaking down and disrespecting our leaders because of somebody else saying that they're not from here. Come on now.
So
that doesn't make sense. And I say that meaningfully.
Mm-hmm.
These people have to get dealt with because I can't trust you with your own FBA. You're not going to know what to do. You all about, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Well, coming to Baltimore and see somebody getting beat and don't jump in because you're not sure what lineage they from, then you're going to get dealt with. You're not making any sense. See, we got to stop with the politeness. We are in a war.
Absolutely.
We're in a war for people that are stopping us from coming together. These people need to get dealt with. In the words of my President General, I love it when he says it. You're either a Garveyite or a parasite. You're either a Garveyite or a parasite. You got people that take Marcus Garvey's image, sell it, but they're not really for the people. They for making money. And now you got people that's making money off Marcus Garvey's image by talking negative about her. Keep Marcus Garvey's name out your mouth if you're not for unifying the people. If you are for your own people here, be for your own people here.
Brother President, let's do this. I see your muscles flexing over there right now. So let me put this system. I'm gonna speed it up a bit.
Go ahead, brother.
You know, let you do some deep breathing before you punch me. No. But no, he ain't gonna punch me, y'all. But I see he doing his thing over there.
Other men, he eavesdropped on her telephone conversation because he became suspicious of her, asked her to please kindly stop, have respect for the organization, her husband, and so on. She accused Marcus Garvey of having a secret service that was spying on her, when in actual fact what happened, unfortunately, the tipping point was they were going through security. Alcohol was found in Amy's luggage, which at that time, there was prohibition. Okay, ma'am. Oh, this one, ma'am. This woman with the village stories, well, she be explaining, but she'll just explain all damn day. Okay, so basically, let me give you the clip notes. Garvey wasn't shit because he was messing with her and her homegirl. She wasn't shit because she was messing with Garvey and his homies. So none of them wasn't shit. Okay, I agree. Now, what else? Let's just wrap it on up and summarize it. None of them weren't shit. So yeah, I agree. Come on here. I appreciate that everyone has their perspective on history. I just like to get to the point. So yeah. But the point is Professor Tony Martin, who I know you're aware of the work that he did. And I like Tony Martin's work. He was a very good scholar. I like his work. Right. And he wrote the book about Amy Ashwood Garvey. So this isn't me making it up because I feel like it. It has been documented. You know, Professor Tony Martin is a thorough. And like I said, I didn't say anything correct yet. And the second Amy was Amy. You didn't say anything correct, I know, which is why I'm disagreeing with you.
Go ahead, sister.
I didn't say anything incorrect. He got with the other Amy, which was the maid of honor in the first Amy's wedding. That was her roommate. So he got with her homegirl. I just said to you that the relationship with Amy J.
Hold on. Y'all notice he had a Freudian slip. He said, I didn't say anything that was correct. He was right. And the sister checked him on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, she checked him on it. And he said it again twice, by the way.
Amy J. Garvey was working at.
That's brilliant. Okay, was that her homegirl or not? Was that her roommate?
They were friends.
That was her roommate. That was her.
I don't have a friend with her husband, but me and her husband are good friends.
Yeah, that was her roommate.
So what?
Oh, okay, all right. That shows character. Okay, that's the character of these people.
Shows character.
That's the character of these damn scandalous.
Ashwood brought herself down. Everything you're saying about the second wife.
Okay, so yeah,
you see that he basically is saying these scandalous ass people. That's a gross generalization.
Shit, that's our point. All right.
He ain't shit.
I ain't saying nothing incorrect. Anybody in here fact check me in real time. Y'all fact check. The book is Amy Ashwood Garvey. Now, does that book also tell about the white woman Garvey was engaged with before he married Amy?
Check it.
Does it also tell you?
Check it. You see, when she defeats him, we went over the debate tactics earlier. What did he just do? He was gish galloping. He moved the goalpost just now because she was defeating him.
Always moving the goalpost.
You know what I mean? He
Always
moved the
moving
goalpost. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to look at the tactics earlier, brother president. I wasn't able to listen to him because I was looking for something as it was playing.
Always.
But he did move the goalpost. Go ahead, talk. What do you hear in that clip so far?
Well, let's address this letter and Marcus Garvey engaged to a white woman. Now, first of all, whether you believe this letter or not, because we know all this propaganda, them trying to throw things to bring Marcus Garvey down to spread more lies. But let's say the letter's true. And then this letter, Marcus Garvey was in South America at the time, hooks up with this Spanish chick, gets engaged, is in love with her, gets home, 1914 or something, I believe, and he's getting really in the race first, and he says, I can't do this. It's important to me that I be with my race.
Right.
I watch all the athletes and all of these people get with their get married outside the race, and then they stop doing for the race. In order for me to talk race first, I gotta be all the way race first.
Right.
So I write this woman and say, hey, we can't be married. I gotta stay with my race, and I suggest you stay with your race.
Slow that down. Let's slow that down real quick. You just said something. I want to make sure they follow what you just said. What you just said was he wrote this woman a letter and said what?
I need to stay with my race.
And what woman was that again?
Allegedly some woman, because I'm not going to believe or also say, I wasn't there back then. They're saying this letter. It could be propaganda. But in this letter, Marcus Garvey writes this woman and says, we can't get married. I need to marry within my race. And I suggest you marry within your race.
I've also did.
Is that race first?
Absolutely.
Hold on. Is that race first?
That's absolutely race first.
That's saying, damn,
they talk
I don't
about
care if I love you or not. I got to stick with a black woman.
But let's think about it. Let's think about it. They tell you about one letter. Let's say both the letters. Let's just hypothetically say they're both real. Okay. Hypothetically. That means that we're just going to go with that narrative, right? Let's just go with the narrative hypothetically that is real. He tells you about one hypothetical letter that says that he was with a white woman before 24. I mean, what was it 1914? But they don't tell you about the letter where he said, nope, I can't do this. This goes against my evolving paradigm.
Let me go a little further. And I love this brother, Malcolm X. Was Malcolm X knocking down white women back in the day? Are we going to look at every brother?
Detroit Red.
Huh?
Detroit Red was.
So we're going to trash Malcolm X now. Because when Malcolm X got that light, he said there's nothing more beautiful than a black woman. What are we doing here? Why are we doing this? It doesn't make sense. And everything he says hurts itself to cause division. I mean, damn, if that letter's true, I got more respect for Marcus Garvey because that's race first. That's everything he taught.
So he fought. Let
me go back even further because we talking about me being a leader of an organization that he created, first of all.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people think race first is hate. Marcus Garvey says straight up the UNIA is a friendly, educational, charitable, humanitarian, expansive, constructive society whose goals are to uplift the community that look like me. So is he saying I hate people? He's saying I love my people. He's saying I love my people. I hear a lot of times, oh, Malcolm in this movie, he grew up with white people. This and that. Look, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the man's mission to unify black people all over the world to come together. And you bringing up stuff that kind of is hurting your negative response to him. You're not making sense. You're bringing this up to say what? He decided to lead this woman to be with his people? Come on.
Let me say this in my member section earlier. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the member section. I spoke about this earlier, and I was speaking about this. Yeah, just go ahead and listen to that. But I want to give the shout out to Mr. K. You know, what he says here is same like the letter that Tupac wrote Madonna, that about why he could no longer date her.
Boom.
Right. So the reality is this. I want to kind of like just really like think about it though. Like really think about like it's not even about defending or Garvey. He doesn't need to, he don't even need a, he don't even need I'm not saying we don't defend our people, but I'm saying in this case there's no need for defense from a fraud about something that might have been a flaw, or even like, let me just keep it straight. Even me, I would say, I wouldn't even know if I would call that a flaw. What I will call that is a political decision. If you politically, like, every decision is political. So for me, in my political decision, I'm going to be with a black woman. And I believe that being with black women as a black man is the best political decision you can make when you're going to be with somebody. Now, we can argue about, somebody who's apolitical might not understand that. They look at things a little different politically. But he made the political decision to get with was it Amy Ashwood, right? And that second letter, look, I just want to stay there for a second, because it's like you talk about the first letter, but you don't talk about the second letter. The letter that says, I can't do this. In other words, I want my desires is to do, even if it's real, let's say it's real, the desire to do this, but you know what? I cannot betray my people like that. Damn. Because frauds will call out flaws and project their fraudulent behavior.
What he's saying is hurting his own mockery of Marcus Garvey.
Tell me more about that. I heard you say that earlier.
He's saying, well, Marcus Garvey, he was married, get engaged to this white woman. And then
I got you.
And then Marcus Garvey saying, I can't marry you. I got to be race first.
Absolutely.
It's around 1914. I'm starting this UNIA.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm really getting into race first even more than ever. And I'm seeing the struggle.
Hit on that,
We
brother.
can't be together. You need to be with somebody of your own liking, because I have to be with my race. It's important to have a black family, a black man with a black woman in the build. And I'm going to go further than that, and I'm going to speak on that. It's the same thing with Malcolm X. I guess he calls Malcolm X FBA. Tariq.
Yeah,
but Malcolm X was messing with white women and going out there with all of that. And then Malcolm X gets with Elijah Muhammad and says, now I'm all about black women. So you want to critique everybody's personal life for the mistakes that they make, but you don't look at the huge decisions they make to uplift our people. That's division. And I will say something that we both agree with, but I can't agree with you at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to defend Marcus Garvey.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a defender to the death.
But I think we said the same thing.
I'm saying that we don't got to defend him.
Mm-hmm.
His record, his followers, he doesn't need the defense. But I'm defending him.
I got you.
So I'm just letting that brother know that.
No, and I got what you're saying, right? Because that's actually what I said. Like, we don't have to. We must defend them.
That's right.
But there's not even a need. There's no defensible need in this particular case.
Right. There's no need. But I'm a defender. I'm a defender.
I said it. I said in your eye. I said in your eyes.
I'm going to defend him. So I want him to know that. Well, I'm just going to say I'm going to defend him.
Mm-hmm.
Let it be known that we take Marcus Garvey.
You just say we.
We take Marcus Garvey, his lineage, his lessons, the love that he gave his community. The brother that said, I go to hell and back for you. I walk the ends of the earth for you. I go before the Lord omnipotent for you. That brother. I love that brother. I love what he's doing and how I followed the lessons that he's taught me to love people that look like me all over the world.
Absolutely.
And that cause is a life cause. That cause is a lesson where you put your life on the line. There's people that put their lives on the line. I'm speaking for myself as a Garveyite. I put my life, my character on the line. So just be mindful. That's all I can say right there. Just be mindful, because what you're doing is dividing. You're not spreading anything but negativity. You're not spreading anything but hurt, pain, hate, and division to our people that look like me. And if you're doing that, then I don't have a problem dealing with you. Because you're not showing me that you're a man of honor, that you're a man of character, that you speak for black people. What are we doing here? If you're not a person that's speaking for unity for black people, if you're going and you're disrespecting our elders, the people that sacrifice way more than you can ever imagine, then why should I have respect for you?
Yeah, brother.
He's walking a dangerous line.
Okay.
And he needs to understand that, because people want us to grow, not to be divided.
Absolutely.
And anybody that speaks division, I don't have any respect for you. Because you saying, man, all you doing is hating on people that look like you. Who does that? We all have differences, but it's about bringing us together so we can be a power.
And I want to say this, my dear brother, President Winchester, is a beautiful brother.
Appreciate you.
I mean, to see him with this conviction and passion, I already knew it was there, but I just want you to know this dear brother wants us to win.
Bingo.
And I'm saying that even he, if I can just disclose this, he's even tried to give Tariq some grace. So what I'm trying to say is he ain't just turned up for nothing. He don't get turned up fast. He is looking at this for what it is. He knows it's problematic because my dear brother, he wants to see all of us win. And he's even like, look, maybe Tariq, he needs to get it together. I'm just telling him he ain't gonna be able to get it together. But my point here is that my dear brother Everett Winchester is not about harming our people. He is about the unification of our people. But he understands that what is happening is psychological warfare that can end up in biological warfare. And see, I remember my dear brother, Bob Imhotep, saying some years ago, there's a war, like sometimes we think about things very academically. And what I mean by that, we think that we can just everything is an intellectual endeavor, and you can call Marcus Garvey out, you can call Brother Winchester out, you can call out Dr. Clark, and that's just an intellectual debate. Well, there's a difference between intellectual debate and really trying to manipulate and tear down our people and our movements within the Pan-African umbrella. Which is also, well, let me ask you this question. Does the UNIA, let me ask you this. Does the UNIA, from your standpoint, fall within because this brother keep coming in my post. I never asked you this. I never asked you this. But does the UNIA fall within the Pan-African umbrella? Or continue?
The UNIA, we say one God. Meaning it doesn't matter what religion you are. We say one aim. We all need to have one aim to come together and one destiny to be a power. And then we say Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. We believe in the teachings of Marcus Garvey that one day we'll go home and build a sovereign nation of people that all want to unite and be together. But there's a difference because within Pan-Africanism, there's different organizations. Some of them don't have the structure that the UNIA has. Some of them don't have the principles and do the work. I shout out all of them because, you know, I'm just talking about the structure and organization that we have, the Constitution. People don't even know that the UNIA introduced, Marcus Garvey introduced that red, black, and green flag. So we take it very seriously. We love all our Pan-African brothers and sisters. And yes, we believe in the Pan-African philosophy. But going back to what you said something, giving him a pass. And you know where I stand. He's a black man with a powerful platform. You know, I want all of our people to win. I want Tariq to win. I'm praying Tariq comes and says, yo, y'all taking what I'm saying all wrong. I'm praying that he comes and says, yo, these people just come at me and I go back at them and I'm not thinking of what I'm doing to hurt, to bring division, but I'm not hearing them say it.
Keep praying.
I'm not hearing him say it. I'm not hearing him say we need to be unified. All I hear him doing is, you know, all I hear him doing is coming at us, coming at us, coming at us, coming at us, breaking us down. Man, you talking, do you know how many people love Marcus Garvey globally in this world? Do you know how many people still on the front lines with him? And for you to talk about Garvey, for you to talk about any elder, and shout out, I'm glad he said he respected Tony Martin, who was a UNIA member and a historian of the UNIA. So Tony Martin has phenomenal books. I ask everybody to go out and read the book, especially Race First. Race First. And see, that's important what Tariq is doing, because, you know, Race First is a very important ideology. Dr. Claude Anderson talks about race. It's a systematic system. We didn't create this, but that's the system that's in place globally. You know, the divide race and to keep Black people down. And so if it's a systematic global oppression, why are you not trying to unite globally? Like you're not educating our people on the global struggle that people like you go through, and it's harmful and it's dangerous. And people like me, people in our organization, people that believe that we need unity, that people that are looking at the big picture, you know, it's dangerous what you're doing, brother. And I'm praying that you can come and at least say something to make me say, yo, it ain't like that. I'm praying.
I'm sorry.
No, you good. I'm praying.
So what I'm gonna do, so I won't keep you here all night. If you got a little bit more time, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this video and then see if anybody wants to come in. Mods, are you able to, I'm not sure, link pin that link, and I'm gonna listen to a little bit of this video more so we can discuss, and then basically from there we're gonna open up the lines. And again, keep in mind, look, I don't owe you a platform. I don't owe you a platform. It doesn't matter who you are, and if you're going off topic, I will kick you out. That's it. I'm not even gonna discriminate. If you're disrespectful, I'm kicking you out. It doesn't matter what your race, your sex, your gender, none of that. I'm kicking you out. I'm not even going to do the patience. I try the patience and all that, but you know, I can set real strong boundaries, because I don't look. And if you come in here beating up on me and Mr. Winchester, talking about this and all that, the time that I give you, I'm just letting you know all that different thing. I decide how that's done. If you can't abide by those rules, this ain't the platform for you. I'm just letting you know. I love you. I love us, but this ain't, you know, I'm trying to curate something here. Okay. All right. And I don't need all the other stuff that comes with it.
Damn white woman, big fat ass Garvey was engaged to.
Listen.
Does it? Huh?
Listen.
Because you know every damn thing. Talk about that white woman his fat ass was engaged to. Huh? Come on. Don't deflect.
The fact is, Martin Luther King has had the same terrible slurs attached to his name.
Dr. King was never engaged to a white woman. Dr. King was never engaged to no damn white woman. What you talking about? Listen, nothing.
He hold up. He know it has nothing to do with engaged.
About his infidelity, but
it has nothing to do with engaged. See
exactly.
how
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See the tricks, and this is the guy that y'all want me to trust. I'm sorry, y'all. Look, you can't fix that. You know what? I appreciate your love for people, and I agree with you. If Tariq Nasheed could change and do something different, I would pray. I pray for it too. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't think you do either, but.
Never engaged.
Why did you write a letter to his godfather saying that in 1914?
Oh, please. Look, I mean, if you're going to fabricate things. And
no. Okay, no. Slow down. Family, can y'all look that up, please? Okay, get up here, family. Fuck that. You're not going to call me a damn liar. Family, can y'all fact check what I just said? Okay, no, you're not going to call me no damn liar. I want y'all to, somebody corroborate what I'm saying. You're not going to call me no damn liar.
I'm not calling you a liar. I'm saying you're misinforming your people.
What am I misinforming?
It's not always reliable.
Damn, he wrote a letter.
People write anything.
Who, the enemy? No, he in his personal letters, he wrote talking about he was engaged to a white woman, a Spanish-Irish woman that he met up there in Europe. So what you talking about?
So was this before he married his first wife?
Yep.
March 2nd, 1914. I'm right. I knew it was in 1914. Y'all look it up. Everybody in the chat room looked it up. It's true. In 1914, the letter, yes. So yeah, why are you saying I'm lying? I'm not lying, ma'am. This is verified.
Okay, so hold on a minute. You're saying that because he was engaged, according to your sources, to a white woman, then marries a black woman. What is the point that you're trying to press here?
Thank you, beloved. Okay, thank you, dear. All right. The point is, he's a big fat hypocrite.
You know, it's funny. Why?
Babbling, a big fat ass hypocrite.
You see how he talks about his character and the way he looks? Big fat hypocrite. It's crazy.
Yeah, they all wasn't shit. All right, that's my point. Yeah, they all wasn't shit. And then scamming. Yeah, y'all look at y'all don't just be saying shit. Yeah, tell all of you, y'all not gonna call up here and try to rinse off that dude's history. Yeah, we know the truth.
Okay, enough of.
We know the truth.
We're having fun with Tariq today. You got something on that? Family, the link is in the chat. Come in. You know, as I said, with all the ground rules, and know that you don't have a guarantee that you will stay here. Okay, you like, why am I? you want to know? Look, we're going to stay on topic. You know, all that other stuff that you want to do, start your own platform. You know, I mean, because we have grace and all that. You know, look, just do your thing. You know, but if you want to come up here and talk about the topic and you want to build, you know, the link is in the chat, family. But President Everett, anything else on that?
It's hard to deal with ignorance when you're trying to unite your people, when you come in with education and knowledge. And again, for him to be engaged to a white woman and say, I can't do it, yo. I'm getting into this race first. This thing is over. It only solidifies the power of Marcus Garvey. So whatever he's saying doesn't make sense. And to call him fat and ugly like a W.E.B. Du Bois did and that Garvey must go movement and all of this and that. Like, I mean, Tariq, I'm just brother, I'm just praying that you can change the way you're moving, because the only thing you're doing is create negativity, calling our people ugly. And I mean, come on, brother. I mean, like, that's not unity. That's division.
Yeah.
And people that do that, you're gonna have to cut them off. You can't associate with people that talk like that. You know, we got to start drawing the line and say, yo, I can't support you because you dividing us. I can't support you, and as long as we support these people like that, we're also becoming agents in a lot of ways.
Yeah, we definitely have to. At this point, look, family, it's just getting old. Look, we can't continue with this stuff, man. We can't continue with it. I'm about to open up the line, family. We got some people in the building. I'm trying to get this link in here one time and try to pin it. Let's see if I can pin it. Okay. I appreciate your time, Brother President. Another thing I want to ask of you, family, is I want to ask that you like, share, and subscribe to this video. And everybody come in. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. And this is essential that you adhere to the 2 minutes or somewhere close to it, and all of that type of thing. Okay. All right. Let's go. I think Bakari was the first. Let me do this real quick. Bam. Bakari, where you calling from, and state your, if that's your name, and state where you calling from.
I'm in Atlanta. Yeah, I'm Bakari. I'm in the Atlanta area.
Well, blessings, dear brother.
Yeah, peace to you. Peace to the president right there. But look, sometimes we as a people, we're gonna have to learn to let some people go, man.
Go ahead, bro.
I hear the president constantly saying brother, talking about this guy. I don't even like to say his name. He's not a brother.
You're right.
He has caused so much damage in our people as a people. As a people, we are so mentally fragile with everything that we have gone through, right? So we would jump on anything that sounds good. He's a hustler, he's a scammer. But we have so many of our people that's gonna go that way. They like to use the word delineate, right? And I tell people, I'm glad they said it, because as a pro-Black Pan-African with a revolutionary mindset, you have to agree with them. Let's delineate. We can't deal with those type of people, and that just affect you. You won't build anything. You would just constantly stay stagnant, arguing.
Brother, go
on social media, and that's what they're doing. They're constantly arguing on social media. They will come to your channel, they will come to other people's channel to create an argument, even though you are never in their spaces. They will come to your space. They want to cause confusion because they are confused. I'm not mad at none of them, but I just get away from them, man. And you have to get away from them, because if we don't, we will never go anywhere, man. Like me and a buddy now, me and some friends, we just got getting 6 acres of land, man. We finna farm. We gonna do that because we want to help our people, man. I'm getting 6 acres here. We're going back to Mississippi, get land because we want to help out. But if you deal with those type of people, they're not gonna ever have those conversations. What they would do, they will see somebody doing something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let's bring it to a close, because you bringing some powerful things and some thoughts in my mind. One thing I'll say before he goes, I'm gonna let him finish. You go. But one of the things dear brother said is about organization, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking about this organization piece, and I'm asking. I think you said something to it earlier. I'm wondering, are there organizations that Tariq Nasheed, since FBA is not an organization, does he suggest certain organizations? I think you were alluding to that earlier. Like, what organizations does Tariq Nasheed suggest we join? 1, 2, dear brother, land a plane, and then I'm turning over to President Winchester.
Hey man, thanks for letting me speak. Look, man, hey brother, you in Atlanta, the president, right? If you don't mind, put your information in the chat. I want you to know I used to be a part of that. I was cool with good brother Ross Marvin.
That's my mentor, and that's my spiritual advisor. I love brother Ross. That's my guy.
Yes, I was cool. Me and Ross still cool. If you don't mind, put the information in, man, because like I said, I had to start with dealing with different type of people so I can become more active there. I'm active where I am, but we need to link up. Yes. So I just wanted to let you know that. And then look, my good brother, Doctor, thank you for letting me speak on your panel, man. Keep putting in good work, man, and peace and love.
Peace and love, dear brother. Appreciate you calling.
Yeah, I thank you for that, good brother, because like you said, man, do you know the problem is we have to cut these people off, but we got to start speaking up because people have to hear our message. You know, sometimes it's like, man, they talking nonsense, but there's somebody that's lost that doesn't have knowledge of self, that doesn't have the knowledge that we're kicking out, and they go for that. And like you said, if you want to do your own thing, do your own thing. We don't have time for it because there's so many of us that know the bigger picture. So I thank you for that, brother. I'm gonna put my information in there, and I can connect you with my good brother John, who is at Atlanta now, and he's the president, and brother Ross is still in action.
Thank you, brother Bakar.
Thank you.
Oh shoot. Who did I just peace, brother Jimmy, it looks like. Please give us the correct name and where you calling from. Let's talk.
Jimmy Princeville, by the way of Lowell, Massachusetts. I'm in Lowell at the moment, but I still consider myself a resident of New York City. I have a New York state license and everything. How you two brothers doing tonight?
Doing well, good brother. Frustrated, but doing well, you know?
Yes.
Doing well, as Dr. Ball says, considering.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm glad both of you are doing good. Yes, this morning, I viewed a video by Haven Bullets, and he touched on the whole Tariq Nasheed video where he was accusing him of having being engaged to a white woman.
Yeah. And
I did look it up, and it did say that was correct. And but I wasn't going for it. You know, as a man who admires Marcus Garvey, I was like, oh no. I'm not going to let them tarnish this brother's name. And Mr. the ancestor's name. So I walked like because I have all my books. There's a lot of my books are in my mother's house, and I don't have a car or anything. I walked all the way to my mother's house, and it's pretty far. And and because I have like the first volume of the Garvey papers, and I knew if this alleged letter was written in 1914, it will be in the first volume. So I walked all the way to my mother's house, and I got the first volume that I had in my personal library of the Garvey papers, and I read through the Garvey papers, and yes, it is true that he did write the letter saying that he was engaged to a white woman, but I think context does matter because we're talking about 1914. So during that time, a man couldn't be physically involved with a woman unless he was married to her. Okay, so yes, he was engaged with her, but I don't believe there was any physical contact with her because he never married her. Okay, because we're talking about 1914. We're not talking about today. In 2014 or 2026, people like have casual intimacies and casual like entanglements all the time. But this is like society was different, over 100 years ago. So I do think context matters. Like, yes, he was engaged with her, but I don't believe there was any physical contact between them. Okay, he never married her. And that's all I want to contribute to the conversation.
Thank you, good brother. And also, not only did he not marry her, he specifically broke it off because he felt the need to marry within his own race.
Right.
We have to always mention that. We have to always mention the other letters and the things of that nature. We have to always put things in context. People change. People become more and have more conviction for the things that they believe in.
Clarity.
Yeah. So, for him to drop these things and talk. But again, when a sister in that video spoke about Martin, he didn't want to get into Martin Luther King's infidelities. And I'm glad he didn't, because we don't want to bring down Martin. Martin got shot. You know what I mean? Martin got shot. Marcus Garvey got infiltrated. These are great leaders. So let's stop talking bad about them, and let's talk about the good they did for our people.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I think we can. Hold on. I think some feedback is going on. I think we can. We can talk about things, I believe, but again, like I share with people, two people can be talking about the same exact thing, but have different intent. We can learn from the past. Like, I think we have to talk about it. Like, even today, like, we have to talk about this, but I think you're giving so much great context. Now, whether or not, and I think even to the brother's point, whether or not he slept with him or not, I think you say, let's look at the big, look, he might have smashed. Look, he might have smashed, right? But I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? People broke all types of laws back then. But what I'm saying is, in context, I want you to say what you said again about, his ultimate decision, though.
Yeah, the ultimate decision was to say, I have to marry within my race. It's more important. And you should go marry within your race to her.
Yeah.
That's more important to me and where I'm at right now. And that's okay. That's okay. No one said that, he was out there saying, I hate white people. He was out there saying, our people need to unify, we're going to get destroyed. And for someone to talk so negative about him, but not mention that main part about all of us coming together globally, that's crazy.
Which was another letter. Why are you leaving out other letters?
Exactly.
But even look, let's even go to a more granular point. Let's say there was no other letter. Okay, still, like, we don't have a letter from perhaps Dr. King on why he was unfaithful, but we can still say, go ahead.
I was going to say, what if Malcolm didn't write that autobiography and never spoke about how he used to smash and pimp white women?
Yeah.
What if he never did that, and then all of a sudden that popped up? And we'd be like, yo, you can believe Malcolm used to mess with white women.
Yeah.
Does that destroy all of the work that the great...
Yeah. Because
Malik Shabazz is done. I mean, come on, what are we talking about?
Because
here?
we even know Jop and many other people. Are we going to throw their works away? Can we throw Diop's work? I'm saying Joe works away. Can we throw his works away because of his wife?
You can't throw anybody's work away when they talk about unifying Black people. And the bottom line is for him to go at Marcus Garvey so hard, but not mention the good work that he's done, to not mention how they infiltrated him, to not mention how people were going against him in the whole campaign, because J. Edgar Hoover, I think, is one of the worst people ever. When he started the FBI, and when Marcus Garvey was the first person he went after. Everybody else is an afterthought. He said, I got to get out of him, get rid of this guy. And one of the things that we have to really pay attention to is why. He called this man Black Moses. He called him Black Moses. He said, this guy's dangerous. He's going to have these people overthrow us. We got to do something. So all this infiltration and all these lies that he put, and having people like a Tariq start coming and going, at all of these people were agents. We got to understand that. We have to understand that the way you defeat a Marcus Garvey, the way you defeat some of our great leaders sometimes is to try to take away all the good that they've done.
You know, again, I don't think it's really about the leader per se for him. I think he's utilizing the leader to destroy the movements.
Bingo.
You know what I mean?
That's what he's trying to do.
He doesn't care about what Marcus Garvey did. Let's keep that a buck. He probably would have joined him if he had, Tariq. I can, I'm not saying Marcus Garvey, Bob and Marcus Garvey would have did that, but Tariq is a pretty interesting guy. But his goal is to destroy the movement.
That's the
movements.
Yes, that's the point. And the crazy part is what he's doing with his movement should not affect the overall of us coming together.
Who is that? Whose movement?
Tariq's, if he has one. Let me go explain. If Tariq is saying, yo, we FBA, we got to start fighting for this. We got to stand up, and people are just. But then to say, well, we don't need to come together with no other Black people. We don't need to worry about the concerns of people that look like me all over the world. I mean, that's somebody that's an agent. That's somebody throughout history, especially Marcus Garvey's time, other people that don't look like us do. That is the goal of somebody that does not look like you, to say, don't let these people come together. What do you call a person like that? I'm asking you, Doc, what do you call a person?
A person who
says, I don't want these people to come together. I don't want these people to unify. What do you call a person like that?
You chose the word agent. I can get with that. I mean, it depends on your definition of agent, right? I mean, I don't call, look, let me just be real clear. I don't even call people agents like that. You know what? But I don't even say people are suspect without any, there is some agent type of behavior as it pertains to what's going on with FBA. And I know they're leaders, so I don't even go this far. But you got to go real far for me to even get that close to calling someone an agent. But I will call him a mass manipulator, a mind control, a major mind control agent.
What do you call a person that calls another person? What do you call a man that calls another man fat and ugly?
Insecure.
Well, when I grew up, we don't really look at men like that. That's what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying?
Insecure and trying.
He called them fat and ugly. What are we doing here? And this is the people that they following.
I told somebody yesterday. I said, I was on my live yesterday, and their followers do some things as well. And I said, I'm not nobody's punch bag. He said, you look like a punch. You shaped like a punch bag. you know what I mean? I mean, it just shows the level of the way that they're trained. You know what I mean?
They're trained to speak negative upon people that look like them, to cause division. It's like there's no purpose but division.
Right.
There's no unity. There's no purpose for global expansion. And so,
So let's do this real quick before I can get you out of here. We got brother Bawana is here. And we got man, I thought American Dream was on here. Oh, he gone. Okay, well, Brother Bawana, what it is, calling from the Bahamas.
My man.
Good night, good brothers. Good night, Dr. Winkler. Good night, Mr. President. I hope everyone is good.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yeah. So here's what I want to say. Here's what I want to say. You cannot. Every human being has the ability to develop and grow. You cannot judge a man when he is 20 years old and when he is 16 years old versus when he is 30 years old or 40 years old. Ideologies change, philosophies change, the thinking of people change. What if I was to have caught early Dr. Winkler when he was 20 years old? What would that look like?
Married. Almost married.
Oh, my bad. Or Mr. President. What if I
have evolved though? I have evolved. I have gotten better.
You look at me when I'm 20. You had some stories, brother. Real talk.
Sure. So
I get you.
Yeah, just as early as 8 years ago, the same person was talking ideologically. He was talking 100% in the reverse of what he's saying right now. Bingo. And 8 years before that, he was in Brazil dealing with white women, talking about he was going to raise the flag of Europe in the bedroom. So ideologies change. It just depends on what you develop.
Bawana, hold on, because your 2 minutes is coming. But look, check this out.
Oh, my bad. I'll be quick.
But no, let me do this. No, I'm gonna throw it back to you, give you another minute. But what I want to say is we have to look at this differently, though, because again, I keep talking about flaws and frauds, right? There's some traits with that brother. I'm talking about Tariq Nasheed that ain't going to change. I'm sorry. See, Garvey at 1914, when he made the decision, he was 26, perhaps somewhere around that. So we talking about a guy who's probably in his 50s, the Nasheed guy. His personality is set. You got what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is I do this show for educational purposes. And I want y'all to stop overlooking what the hell I'm saying. Excuse my language. But what I'm saying is it ain't much changing unless an act of God smack the shit out of him. You see what I'm saying? You can't be that corrupt and change at 40, at 50. I'm sorry. You just ain't going to do it. You something going to have to happen to you major. It's going to have to be something major. Maybe somebody going to have to put him in a headlock. Maybe somebody and maybe choke the oxygen out of him. Then he comes up with some level of trauma and then he's a different guy. But this guy is in survival mode. He has had, I don't know his story, but he had to survive. The conceptualization is, I'm not diagnosing, but the conceptualization is that there's some trauma there. The conceptualization that there's some Trump-like Machiavellian type of traits there. What I'm saying is, no, Trump ain't Trump ain't changing. People are thinking that Trump is going to change. No. Trump ain't changing. Umar ain't changing. I'm sorry. Let me get off of him. At least he says some things is better. You know what I'm saying? He says things is better. But no, he ain't changing. Garvey was in his 20s when he made that decision. This dude still saying things that's crazy, still being very deplorable to our people. But Brother Bawana said something very key. Tag. What did he say? Brother Bawana said
we evolved.
He evolved, and he was in his 20s. Tariq is an old ass man. Bawana.
Yeah. So let me deal with that briefly, and please, Doc, please give me back my time.
I just told her. Hold up.
No, just the 1 minute.
Hold up. Hold up. Did you not hear me say? Because I gotta be clear with all y'all. Did you not hear me say I'm gonna give you a minute back?
Thank you for my minute back.
No. I'm asking you a question. Did you not hear me say that?
Yeah, yes, you did. You did say that.
No need to come back and ask for it after I told you I'm gonna give it to you.
You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
The optic is that I'm taking, I don't want those images. You heard
what no worries.
You heard me with your sister last week. Don't do that. We don't have
no victims. That's right.
Okay, you understand the optic I'm talking about? Like, please give me back my time. You ain't gotta ask me for your time. I already told you to give it to you. Take it.
Okay. So when I say evolve, people ideologically, they don't always have to evolve for the better. They could get worse. Some people evolve and become better. Some people evolve into scumbags. So I mean, there's no promise that you're going to become something better in terms of aging. That's all I'm saying there. But as far as Tariq Nasheed, there are things you could take away from Tariq Nasheed and learn from Tariq Nasheed, as you would learn from all of your enemies. Tariq Nasheed obviously studies Marcus Garvey because he knew enough to know about his personal life in detail. So what I would say to that is, you should study your enemy. You should study your enemies as you study yourself. See, the Christians, they profess to be Christians, but they don't know what's in the Bible. And someone who has studied the Bible, if you don't know better, they could come along and confuse you. So if you profess to be a Garveyite or Pan-African, you must study the people who you say that represent you. I could never throw a president, the president off in terms of Garvey, the things that what he would have done, the people would have dealt with, because he studied Garvey. He is not just a professor of saying I'm a Garveyite and that's it. He studies these people. And I think that we should get engaged in the same kinds of way. So when people try to come and manipulate us, it'll be a joke to us.
You can't be. Hold
on. I'm going.
Brother, don't leave yet. I got to ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
Same question I asked the doc. What would you call a person that's not trying to unite us globally and is just trying to cause division?
Garvey would call. I follow Garvey. He'd be a race traitor. That's what he is. A race traitor.
I like
that's
that.
what he is.
I take that one as well.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you, Doc, for my minute back. I appreciate y'all, brothers. I'm gonna be brief.
Hold up, Bowen. Hold up.
Yes, sir.
You got way more than a minute back.
Yes, I did. I did get more. Thank you for the extra time, Doc. Thank you for the extra time.
I want to respond to one thing you said, though. I can't remember what it was. We'll come back somehow. I think, I agree with you holistically, and I want that to be clear. So I think that I'm not talking about ideology. So that's a bit different. I'm talking about personality. And you can take, look, I'm not saying this is 100%. I'm just saying it's very close to it. There's room for error. But statistically, Tariq Nasheed ain't changing. Statistically, Brother Everett Winchester is who he is for the most part. Statistically, scientifically, we are who we are. If you take Brother Winchester, and he's not no longer, he would probably get me for saying something like this. No longer a Garveyite. Just hypothetically, don't come for me. Don't come for me. Just hypothetically, he will take his same characteristics to another organization. Brother Winchester, before he even picked up and became a Garveyite, he was already doing certain levels of work. That doesn't mean that he wasn't doing some stuff that he's not proud of. But at his core, he has always been who he is.
That's true.
That's what we have to really understand. That at the core, Tariq Nasheed is who he is. And we have to understand, again, the difference between flaws and frauds. It was something you said made me say this. I can't tie it back to it. But nonetheless, ideologically, a person with a certain personality is not going to just become corrupt and a traitor and what did you call him, a race traitor. They just won't do it unless they really believe in it. I don't believe this guy believes in nothing he says. It's all about opportunity. So wherever he goes, he can come and join the UNIA under your leadership tomorrow. I promise you he would try to usurp it.
That wouldn't happen.
I promise he would try to usurp it. He did the same thing with ADOS. Oh, Yvette gave him a pass. Oh, yeah, because he had an audience. Oh, yeah, we growing family. And guess what he did not too long afterwards? He blew it up. He took their followers. He intentionally does these things. This guy is not, unless there's an act of God. If you might not believe in God, Mother Nature, he's not redeemable. Sorry. Peace, brother.
And Doc, I'm not trying to redeem Tariq Nasheed.
No, you.
And if what you said is true, that in terms of character, and he went back. The first when this gentleman introduced himself to the world, he introduced himself to the world as a what? As a Mac. So that character-wise, that hasn't changed. He's just taken Mac through Pan-Africanism. Now it's to Black nativism. So he's Macking Black nativism. So the character-wise.
I got you. I follow you. I agree with you. All you're doing is supporting what I said. But before you go, I want you to listen to this. See, this person probably might be redeemable. JJA Philly 342 might be redeemable. I don't know. I haven't seen the traits of JJ Philly 342. I don't know JJ. He's saying some stupid stuff. I mean, maybe that's just his taste, you know. The reason, I mean, he doesn't have to like, is he talking about your outfit or my outfit or somebody's outfit in the chat? Maybe he's talking about somebody's outfit in the chat that he can't see. But
he not like the Garvey shirt.
But man, he doesn't like the Garvey shirt, or like, hold on, like which one is it? Like, or maybe Bawana, he can see what you have on. But JJ doesn't like, I'm assuming, I'm with some deduction that he's talking about my outfit. You know what I mean? I'm assuming that he doesn't like what I have on. Brother, see, you just said, why is he talking about?
What are we talking about? You now you're getting it. No, why are we worried about how another man dresses or how another man looks?
My wife told me I was cute today.
You know, it goes back to Tariq. One thing we can say, some women love Marcus Garvey, but you calling him ugly. So I don't look at another man and worry about how another man looks. I look at his character. That's all that matters to me. I'm not attracted to men, so I don't know what a good-looking man is to an ugly-looking man. I'm not thinking like that. And you know, I'm not worried about what a brother wears when he dresses the way he wants to express himself. As long as you represent yourself as a strong, powerful man, and as long as you try and build and not destroy, I'm with you. And this brother ain't trying to build; he's trying to destroy. So, yeah, why we worry about what we wearing and how we look?
Shout out to the YouTube. I don't even know what they call him. Phenom, Tahaka Bay. He says he love it. I don't know if it's the outfit. You love the outfit. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but, Doc, you look sharp, man. Don't worry about the haters. You look sharp. You look sharp.
So I shouldn't be insecure. I should be insecure. I shouldn't be insecure. Okay, thank you, Bawana. I appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? Don't worry about him. Look, one thing for sure, you better not come up on these YouTube streets if you can't handle it.
It's tough on YouTube.
Yeah, you can't.
But such is life in the real street.
Such is life. So, okay, Brother Bawana, we thank you. We're gonna take a few.
Yeah, take care, good brothers. We probably talk later. The both of y'all brothers. Yeah, yes.
Blessings. All right, family. 2 minute. What do they call them? 2 minute warnings in football. What do they call it?
The 2 minute
drill.
2 minute.
2 minute drill.
Oh yeah, okay.
Brandon, 2 minute drill. I'm counting right now. Let's get it going. Where you calling from? And what it be?
Hey,
and what it do?
Evening, President Winchester.
Oh, you far away. You far away. You're gonna have to do something about your sound.
It must be my deep voice, man.
No. You sound like you not near the phone.
Low.
Yeah, hold on. Snap. I gotta fix my mic or something. But much love. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I know. Go ahead. I might can hear you. I don't know if they can hear you, but go ahead and try it out. I turned it up in the studio.
Just speak a little louder to be safe.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Did he leave? Brandon. Darks Brandon? T Brandon? Oh, it sounds like he's trying to fix something. All right, so I'm gonna get American Dream and come back to you. American Dream. Now, American Dream, 2 minutes, and don't fight us too hard, American Dream.
No, I'm not here to fight. Peace to you, Doc. And blessings to you, Mr. Winchester.
Peace and blessings.
Yes, sir. So, Tariq also likes to say that Jamaicans rejected Marcus Garvey, that they didn't want anything to do with him. And I guess I just wanted to make it clear that Marcus Garvey is a national hero in Jamaica, like an official national hero. He's on our currency, and I personally grew up learning about Marcus and honoring Marcus. So Marcus Garvey has a special place in Jamaicans' hearts today. They may have had issues with him during his time, but today he is our hero. And I guess one of the things because of that, and I think that's the main reason Jamaicans honor him is because he's a Jamaican hero. But this idea of him being a scammer, I guess I wanted to make it clear that in order to be scamming someone, you have to take their money and do something with it that you claimed something other than what you said you were going to do with the money. That's what makes you a scammer. And Garvey was not charged with that. Garvey was never charged or even accused of misusing or misrepresenting money. The mail fraud that he was found guilty of cannot be labeled as scamming because he was never charged with misusing the money. He was charged with having just and it was really only one count of just one piece of mailing that they said he misrepresented one of the ships, whether he had a ship or not.
Hold on, I'm sorry to cut you off because you're really flowing. You said something. They said, who is they?
I think the prosecution.
White people? Because according to Tariq,
at the time.
According to Tariq, it was the FBA that got rid of Marcus Garvey. When we know damn well in New York and all across America UNIA was strong. It was strong Garveys. I'm sorry to cut you off. You were flowing, but I wanted to make that you're really flowing. And just not to cut you off, and I apologize, but those bogus charges, they would have convicted them of anything if they could.
Hey,
Indeed.
American Dream,
sorry to cut you off.
I'm gonna give you a minute and then to wrap it up.
Yes, sir. It is also true that he did get a lot of pushback from some Black Americans who were opposed to his race first philosophy. There were some like W.E.B. Du Bois was more about his American nationality than the whole race first thing. But I wanted to ask Mr. Winchester a question if I could. I hope it doesn't cut into my minute. People always bring up the fact that he met with the KKK as well.
Thank you for that.
And I spoke with someone, I think yesterday. I was on a podcast, and he brought that up. And I reminded him that, Elijah Muhammad and the NOI, including Malcolm X, also met with the KKK for their own reasons as well. And he said the reason that they can forgive Elijah and the Nation of Islam is because of all of the works that they did in the community. He mentioned things like security and stuff like that.
Tariq mentioned that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No, it wasn't Tariq. It was another podcaster. Somebody goes even harder on Marcus than Tariq does. But he was. Yeah. I'd rather not mention his name. He's not really.
I get it. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, but Tariq also echoes those sentiments.
Yeah, absolutely. But this guy has like really, really harsh words. I think I kind of lost my train of thinking in terms of where I was going.
Basically, the NOI and they get a pass.
Yeah.
Right. And I was asking him, why does he forgive the NOI for meeting with the KKK? And, but he's so, he just convicts Marcus. And he said the NOI has a lot of good works in the community. And he challenged me to, present any good works that Marcus or the UNIA did in the community. So I was hoping, Mr. Winchester, because I was kind of at a loss for words in terms of presenting the works of the UNIA off the top of my head. So I was hoping that Mr. Winchester could mention a couple of things that could
stay
you
on,
know,
good brother. I got you. Let's.
And how you looking for time so that I can know the respect?
I got this is important.
You got time today.
I got time today.
Okay.
I got time today. First, let's start with this. Malcolm X, father and mother were Garveyites in the UNIA. Malcolm X's mother was phenomenal. She was very important in the development of the UNIA. His father, I believe, was a division president. So let's start there. If you say there's no good, Malcolm was instilled with that in an early age of Marcus Garvey. Let's go with Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Poole was a member of our Detroit division of the UNIA. So let's start there. When you want to talk about the influences, they followed Marcus Garvey. They followed the blueprint. You said Marcus Garvey met with the KKK. Well, of course, they're going to try to do the same thing and move the same way. And it wasn't just meeting with the KKK saying, yo, forget all this fighting. Y'all over here, we over here. Y'all don't want us to drink off your water fountain? We got our own water fountain. We don't need to deal with each other. But if we do, let's do it economically so we can build up our own. That's what it was about. So let's start there. Now to go into the history of the UNIA. Back in those days, there was a pandemic at one time. The Red Cross wouldn't even come out to service Black people. There was a powerful sister in the UNIA, our first international organizer. I believe she was the first one in the UNIA from Baltimore. Henrietta Vinton Davis created the Black Cross nurses. Because the Red Cross, they wasn't coming in the Black community helping us. So we created the Black Cross nurses. When you see the sisters in the nation in white, the Black Cross nurses were white. When you see those brothers stepping up, looking strong in the nation and how they looked and how they moved, look at those African Legion, the security and military of our red, black, and green nation that Marcus Garvey created. Look at how they looked. So there's a lot of similarities. And when you want to start talking about, and I've probably said this on the last podcast, the work that Marcus Garvey did, and you look at the nation, of how the nation created businesses, wasn't that what Marcus Garvey was doing? See, we talk about the businesses that failed. What about the hotel in New York and the restaurants? The first Black doll company. I will always tell people, I remember in the 70s, my mother was struggling to find a Black doll for my sister. But Marcus Garvey in the 1920s had a Black doll company. So let's start talking about that and building economically. So we want to talk about how business is struggling and some of the things that didn't work out for him, but talk about the things that did work out for him and the people that are influenced by him and the work and the tradition that's created. When I see that red, black, and green flag flying all together, August 13th, 1920, the UNIA and Marcus Garvey introduced that flag. So we got to stop bringing the hate. It's a lot of work that Marcus Garvey has done as far as making people feel empowered as Black people, giving people positions, teaching them about leadership. One of the books, Message to the People, A Course in African Philosophy, is a leadership training of the UNIA. And then Message to the Black Man by Elijah Muhammad. See, there's a lot of similarity. So we can't kill the inventor and praise someone that was inspired by him. You're always going to hurt Marcus Garvey the most because Marcus Garvey's more influential in a global impact. A global impact. You can say, oh, I can give it to the nation. You know, the nation's strong here. Marcus Garvey was strong globally. It was a global impact. So I hope I answered some of your questions, good brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There are times when I think about the fact that what Tariq is doing kind of parallels what Marcus is doing in a sense, because where Marcus wanted race first, Tariq wants to create a lineage first kind of mentality in Black folks. And I think the two of them kind of run counter to each other. And I guess the question is which one serves the community better, and which one is best even identified as a community. And you know what you just mentioned in terms of being global, I can't imagine that you know something global wouldn't be more useful than something local. You know, if you want to speak to just those differences and why you think what Marcus represented in terms of race first is more vital or important than a lineage based philosophy.
Excellent question, though.
Yeah. You're Jamaican, correct?
Yes, I am.
And I've African American, if that's what they want to call me, FBA, if that's what they want to call me. But me and you are brothers, and I love you, and I hope you love me because we can be one together. We're the same. And so when I come to Jamaica and we unite and we start building, it makes it more powerful. And then we go to Africa and it makes it more powerful. And then we go to Brazil and we make it more powerful. We go and find some brothers in Mexico and Venezuela and all of that. And we just start building. There's nothing like being global. And if I was to separate myself from all of that that's happening globally, then would I be able to build power economics? No, because you got to remember the white man's still oppressing me here. He's oppressing you there. The only way for us to get on the same levels to be systematic systems that are systematically ingrained in us all over the world globally. Global is the key. Yes, and we have to do it step by step, block by block, but we are one. We don't have time for division because we can't grow. And the white man knows that. And he sends us these agents to separate us. And why should Tariq say that me and you shouldn't be cool? That's what he's saying. You're a Jamaican, but me and you are cool. And then you and I, hey, I'm cool with Jamaicans. I'm cool with Africans. I'm cool with people from the Caribbean. We all tight and we rolling together. So I welcome anybody of my, what I would call my lineage of Africa, of my melanin, the people that look like me, the black people, to come together. And why would somebody not want that? We become more powerful. We become more strong. And that's what the opposition doesn't want. And I'm trying to figure out why Tariq doesn't want that. And so, yes, global is the key, my brother, because we can never turn the tables unless we're united globally. It's a global front. And to talk bad about each other, for me to talk about you being a Jamaican and the differences and to bring up Jamaicans that don't agree with me or don't like where I'm from, when I got a whole bunch of Jamaicans that love me. That when I go to a UNIA meeting, I'm eating Jamaican food well. I'm eating food from all over in Africa well. We love each other, man. We growing. We don't have time for division. And I hope that answers your question. Global is the key. And division, anybody that doesn't want us to be on the same page globally is crazy. And that's hatred, and that's hating people that look like you. Period.
Indeed. That definitely answers the question. And I love you too, brother. Dr. Daw, thank you so much for giving me the extra time. Love you too, sir. Y'all be blessed.
I appreciate it. And I want to correct something. I appreciate your question. See, you wasn't just talking, you asked questions. So that was beautiful. You added your part and then you started asking questions. The questions are beautiful for the guests.
You know what I like? We ended talking about we love each other.
Absolutely.
Black people loving each other. Ain't that what it's supposed to be about?
Absolutely. Like for example, me and American Dream, we disagree on some foundational political things, right? But he still come back and show me love and I show him love. Sure. You understand? So brother, I love you too, brother. Peace.
Indeed. Be blessed.
Now, this one might be a little different. 2 minutes, pan mulattoism. All right, let's see. Look.
What?
Hold up. Pan mulattoism. What it is? Where you calling from? I think you from Baltimore. I think I heard your voice before.
Peace, and I appreciate y'all having me up. My audio literally just went out. I think it's StreamYard. I'm gonna drop down and come right back.
Well, Pamela,
we can hear you.
We can hear you. Okay, well, let's go to Brandon and see if he got his thing together. Brother Brandon. Darkest Brandon. All right. It looked like Darkest Brandon is also
Do you have a therapist?
Somebody asked somebody if they have a therapist. Is that a video? All right, Pamelatoism. I think you from Baltimore. It sounds like, but I don't know where you at. Where you be? What's your name? Where you
Yeah,
calling
peace, family. This is Pamelatoism, or mulatto for short. I'm actually from Howard County, Maryland, Columbia, Maryland.
Okay. Yes. Via Baltimore some kind of way. I hear. Well, go ahead,
peace, family, peace. And when I say this, well, let me just say this. Really, I'm coming to have a genuine dialogue. And I'm not here to attack Garvey, even though I disagree with him. But I have to acknowledge that Garvey left a majority black nation, which was Jamaica. He came to a majority white nation, and he died in Europe. He never went to Africa. So, in my estimation, Garvey, respectfully, was not serious about Pan-Africanism. And one question, and I'll say this in closing because, I never want to be long-winded. One question that I always ask Black Americans that are Pan-African is, considering the fact that the total number of majority Black American cities, towns, counties, and congressional districts is decreasing as the total number of majority immigrant cities, towns, counties, and congressional districts is increasing. My question to the Black American Pan-Africans is, how many more majority Black American communities are you willing to forfeit to foreigners, respectfully?
Can I ask him a question while you think on that?
I don't need to think, but go ahead and ask him that question.
Could you tell me a little bit about Pamelatoism, just in like a few seconds, so that I can...
Yes, sir. It'll be one sentence. Pamelatoism is literally the acknowledgement of the genetic relations of all people that are mixed between African and European, all people of African and European descent combined.
Okay, thank you for that. Because I'm really I think I find it very interesting in you. Okay, go ahead.
What do you identify as?
Mulatto.
Okay. Do you consider me your brother?
For sure.
Okay. Do you consider someone from Jamaica your brother?
I would say they are my cousin.
Okay, that's cool. We family. What about Africa?
Once again, I would say they are a more distant cousin.
Okay, but we all family, correct?
For sure.
Okay. So if you started a business and your family was in need of jobs, would you hire them?
No, with all due respect, I would primarily hire descendants of U.S. chattel slaves exclusively,
Why?
To the extent that I can, dodge a lawsuit, but you get my point.
Why not just hire people that look like you?
Because I have an obligation to my immediate family first. It is the descendants of U.S. chattel slaves that is experiencing a ethnic displacement within our own country. Or in other words, Jamaicans, they can literally go to...
I got you.
My bad, go
ahead. Let me ask you. No, I'm sorry. I got you. Let me ask you this. Are you more than a descendant of a slave? I'm just trying to figure out where you come.
I want to answer your question.
Okay.
I would say, I can never deny my ancestors. So if your question is, do I have ancestors that were not enslaved? Of course.
Okay. And the reason I asked that because I wanted to go down because you're close. You're close to being a race first person. If I had a job, I probably would hire my relatives that are close by me first, of course. Then a cousin in California when I'm in Baltimore. But if my cousin in California moves to Baltimore, I'm not thinking about where he's from. He's my cousin. I just hopefully can give you some analysis that, brother, we got to unite. And it doesn't matter what you put first. We all catching hell all over the place. And the white man, that oppressor, he doesn't care where you're from.
And brother, well, let me respond.
I want to ask you that. I want to say that because it seems to me that you're not worried about the oppressor. You're worried about people that look like you.
Well, I want to respond to what you're saying.
Okay.
Number one, and I think it's very problematic that we, as I'll say, U.S. freedmen, we define ourselves through the white gaze. Just because the white man sees a Jamaican and sometimes has a hard time distinguishing a Jamaican from a U.S. freedman, that does not mean that we are ethnically different. Or in other words, I can think a Korean and a Chinese person are the same because to me, they look the same. But that does not mean that they are not ethnically different. Or in other words, Jamaica, and this is what I was about to bring up earlier, Jamaica, they are not at the brink of being the majority, pardon me, a minority. I'll say this sentence over for the listeners. Jamaicans are not on the brink of becoming a minority in their homeland, which is Jamaica. I can say the same thing about people from Grenada or Barbados or Nigeria or Somalia. They are not on the brink of being minorities in their own nation.
Hold one second.
Go ahead.
You setting up pretty long. So what are you saying though?
Right.
Well, I've said it already.
I think I got you, brother. But this
let me answer the host question.
Hold on. I want to be clear for the audience.
Uh-huh.
Are you saying that somebody is on the brink of being a minority in their homeland?
I'm saying descendants of U.S. chattel slaves are already a minority, and the total number of majority Black American communities.
The numbers are. But are you saying that there have been a decrease in the percentage of African or Black people in America?
Yes, and with all due respect, I think you're not understanding what I'm saying because you keep.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying. That's I'm asking questions.
What I'm saying is, and I'll repeat it.
You said what you said. You said what you said. You said what you said, and I said I wanted clarity. So yeah, please make it clear for me.
And I'll repeat it one more time with all due respect, and the listeners understood me. What I'm saying is,
how do you know that? How do you know that?
I'm reading the chat, brother. I'm reading the chat. Respectfully. So let me complete the sentence. Allow me to complete the sentence, and you'll understand me. I see it. All right. Well, allow me to complete the sentence, and I'll make it more clear for you. The total number of majority Black American cities, towns, counties, congressional districts, and census tracts is decreasing. Or in other words, our communities are being eradicated. Can you understand that, brother?
I don't know what you're saying. I don't even know if I agree with you. The population has been for a while 13%, but African Americans between 11 and 13% of the population as a whole. If you're saying we're stagnant, I would say I can agree with that. But overall, we've been between like 13% of the population overall. I don't.
Well, let's have a dialogue. Are you aware that within that 13%, that includes Black immigrants?
Well, I think, brother.
No. I'm trying to illustrate a point. Please, I'm trying to trigger a light bulb.
Okay, let me ask you a question. With that, how long has it included Black immigrants?
And I'm glad you brought that up. The total number of Black immigrants are increasing, but the percentage is staying the same. What does that tell you? That tells you that the Black American population, percentage-wise, is decreasing.
So what does that have to do with anything?
Right.
That's an indication that we're not preserving our communities, brother.
I don't even know if your facts are accurate or how you doing it. But what I will say is this.
You don't have to speculate. Just look at the census.
No. I looked at the census. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I think, and I mean this with love. I hope you don't take this with any disrespect.
No, you cannot offend me. It's all right.
I don't want you. That's what I'll make sure.
Yes,
I think that what you're looking at I think what you're looking at doesn't make sense into the long-term goals of us being uplifted. You're looking at it from we're here and all of this or that, brother. you maybe you need to get with those black immigrants and start building together, brother. I don't know what to tell you, but it seems to me like you're stuck on a certain lineage and you're not going to be able to build. And maybe that's the problem.
So
and do you realize what you
a quick search?
You keep talking about everybody's coming over.
So a quick search. I'm not saying it's
exactly
a quick search. It says no, the overall African American population has not decreased, it has grown. However, black immigrant population is increasing at a faster rate, now comprising of 11.4%. U.S. black residents up from minus 4% in 1980. Black immigrants accounted for roughly 19% to 25% of overall black population growth since 2000. So, I don't think this is supporting what you're saying.
And it also doesn't say the fact that if we were to get together and build, we would even be stronger. It's like you don't want to build with somebody that looks like you, and you trying to.
Well, you don't have to straw man my position.
Hold on. Somebody just said something. He said the chat had his back, and I think you know what. And we're not gonna stay on this too long because I said not to get off track. But somebody did say a good thing. They says, look, the chat says, wait. He still hasn't clarified.
Well, what part do you need me to clarify to the brother that wrote that? Because what I just said was very articulate.
What are you fearful or something?
Well, you don't have to mischaracterize.
No, I asked you a question.
No, I have an instinct of. I'm trying to answer your question.
That was a legitimate question, brother.
And can I answer your question?
I asked you a question for a reason.
Well, will you cut me off when I try to answer? I'm asking.
Okay. I already told you must have wasn't on there. I'm gonna take look. Don't do the cutoff thing. I can cut you off when I want to.
No, I'm asking. Do you want to answer?
No. What I'm saying is, don't do that because if you do that, then we're done. So go ahead and answer.
Okay. Do I have the floor?
All right. Didn't I just tell him not to do that?
I would say one thing to that brother. Like, man, I don't even know what you're trying to accomplish by what you're saying.
Proper perspective.
Everything that he's saying is counterproductive to what he's talking about. He's talking about we're not grown as a community here, and we're not preserving what we need to preserve. And maybe that has something to do with the way you're thinking, and because you're not trying to build at a higher level. I don't know what to tell you, brother, but you got to face the fact that you're thinking small as far as your history, your culture, and you're not looking at the bigger picture. You're more than just a slave, brother. You're more than that. Respectful.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Winchester, President Winchester. One of the things that I want to remind, like you asked a real essential question. I mean, first of all, I don't know what this guy is, pan mulattoism, and then he goes into like this interesting thing. My cousin cooked them. Professor Shabazz cooked them. Oh my God, I'm listening to too much YouTube. I say cooked. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Oh no. This is the guy that say he cooked my cousin. Let me say that. And I take that word out of my vocabulary because I don't want to sound like FBA Ron and pan mulattoism.
Yeah, that automatically he don't even know what he's identifying with. He don't know what he is.
Yes,
he's mixed.
Right, but so let's think about it. So the reality is we're already mixed in as a community. Like, for example, I beg my forgiveness, but one of our dear elders came into an event the other day that we had a panel. I mean, he's part of UNIA now, but nonetheless, and he was in there saying, "There's no Africans in here. I mean, we're the Caribbeans." And with all due respect, Elder, how did you figure that out? What I mean is, like, did you just look at this man and this woman and say they're not that? First and foremost, my wife is Jamaican. We're in a space that she owns. Secondly, I was looking at some of the brothers and sisters there. They're like first and second generation people from the continent that I know. Like, just because, like, how did you judge that? From a look test or something like that? You just think that Africans look a certain way, Jamaicans look a certain way, and all that? With all due respect, I'm just saying that we have to stop those type of tests. Getting back to what I'm really saying here, though, like now, okay, I guess I'm a traitor. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing I have wrong with FBA, because FBA treats my my relationship with my wife as if I traded the race.
That can't be true because Tariq Nasheed, I heard him in an interview say that if he's married to his wife, respect that brother. He said he would never leave his wife there happily, but if she was gone, he would look into dating a Jamaican.
But he literally also,
I'm just saying, I'm confused.
But he also said, as the dear brother said earlier, say that he wouldn't have a problem with going and slaying Europeans and all that type of thing. So, but nonetheless, so
but
he has no values.
I got you.
He has no ideological what is it called? Loyalty. He had I'm not telling that brother what to do. What I'm saying is he doesn't have a thing. He creates it and recreates it. But nonetheless, I wanted Brother Shabazz to come in if I could.
Yes, bring my brother.
To really sum that brother up, because he did sum him up, and I'm gonna say he baked them instead of cooked them on his show. Go and check out The Proper Perspective on YouTube. Again, he has some of the most phenomenal what do you call it? Breakdown. Something. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Professor Shabazz.
Thank you, cuz. Peace to everybody. Peace to President Winchester. Peace to you. Yeah, like I said, I had that conversation with that brother last week. He even tried to get me. He said, "Well, ask Chat GPT." And I asked Chat GPT live on screen the same way he asked me to. And Chat GPT was like, no, there's no replacements. Chat GPT said there are a couple of neighborhoods where it used to be more African Americans there, and now there are more Black immigrants in one or two neighborhoods, but it said that the African Americans that used to live in those neighborhoods moved out of those neighborhoods into other neighborhoods. Some of them just other places around the same city. Some of them actually left whatever state is in question and moved to a different state. And in those different states, they moved to other largely Black areas. So if you leave Harlem, for example, but Harlem wasn't there, wasn't a thing. But if you leave Harlem and you move to Richmond, Virginia, or you move to Newport News, Virginia, or you move to Raleigh, North Carolina, then you're moving into an area where there's already a fairly large, may not be completely dominant, but Richmond has a fairly large Black city. To the point that, at least up to a certain point in time before gerrymandering started to kick in, we always had a Black mayor. We always had almost a complete Black city council and so forth. Gerrymandering has been playing tricks with that. But most of those Black people that are leaving out of these so-called neighborhoods, not cities, I pointed out to him because he kept saying cities. He just kept hitting cities. I'm like, I would have at least thought that he would change his question now. But he kept saying cities. And I'm like, bruh, New York is the city. You're trying to tell me that there are more Black immigrants in New York. And that's when he tried to say, no, no, you said city. And even in the boroughs haven't been depopulated like that. He actually called it ethnic cleansing. And so again, just the idea of, even if you ask Chat GPT, if you garbage in, garbage out, if you ask it the wrong way, large language models is what all of these AI platforms are. They are designed to tell you, to mirror what you give it, unless you tell it to give me information in a non-biased, in an unbiased, in an objective manner. If I'm a white supremacist and I say, hey, ain't all these Black people come from monkeys? Yes, it will tell you that. Yes, they are. They're largely savage. And then you're going to walk off saying, see, I told you, ChatGPT said it. If you ask it to give you hardline, credible information and back it up with sources, you might get a different answer. Because like I said, when I posed the question exactly how he asked, and it spit out all kinds of information, but it said there are no cities that have been overrun. It said that the African Americans that have left certain neighborhoods have moved into other neighborhoods in other cities that are still largely Black oriented, Black populated, Black dominated.
Facts. And what's crazy, where it seemed like he was upset about, is that Black people are moving out. Well, I mean, you know, he's all over the place. He doesn't even know how to identify with himself just by his name alone, and then what he was saying, and that's sad. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
let's think about it.
That's crazy.
Think about it, brother president. He says he's not for. Just think about the name. That's why I asked.
That's the
he's
first
not
part.
for Pan-Africanism, but his name is Pan-Mulattoism. just think about that. You know, like
bingo.
The very like I guess he's pro mulattoism, or like what is that? Like, so he's not pan black or pan African, but he's pan mulatto.
We got a lot of people out here that's speaking and they don't want to be educated. They just want to come with a lot of ignorance. And I'm glad you checked him.
My conceptual.
I'm glad you checked him.
Yeah, go check him. Go check him out. Last week he baked him. Proper perspective baked him. And I do appreciate you coming in. But in addition, what I put here, because it's a quick, you know, I'm not even saying look. I know this is what they use, so I don't know why I take so much time to like preface what I say and say I just looked it up quickly and all. I do get it because academically, you know, I'll look at it some more. But what has come up thus far, oh Lord, it disappeared, didn't it? But anyway, it says that did it go away, y'all? Oh, it
what?
Oh, you know what? Let me put it back in here again. And we have a few more. Okay, let me see. Command V. Okay, so the chat is moving faster than I need it to right now. All right, family, make sure you like this video up, share, subscribe, and also before you get out of here, brother president, make sure you leave how they can stay in contact with you, join the UNIA and nationally, internationally. So again, what it says here is the number of Black immigrants in the U.S. has increased significantly from 816. I'm assuming that's not 1,000, but I don't know. In 1980, that's 1,000 to in 1980 to 4.6 million in 2019, growing much faster than the overall Black population, while the U.S. population, descendants of enslaved people, is not shrinking. Its share of total Black population is declining, with immigrants now making up nearly 10% of all Black Americans. Hold up. American, did I skip? Is something skipping? Because that's like Asian. It's not okay. Is not shrinking. Its share of total Black population is declining, with immigrants now making up 10% of the population. It looks like it's saying two different things, so I can't really go with that right now because it's look like it's saying it's not, but it is. But maybe somebody can look it up for me.
I don't even know if does that brother identify as FBA. I don't know what he's talking about.
But he
all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know what he identifies as. But nonetheless, the point is, this is what I want to get to, and I return to it. Like, so now do I supposed to unmarry my wife? No. Like, I'm trying to figure, do I supposed to like because my wife is downstairs, I'm not supposed to do business with her? I'm saying that we're all kind of mixed in together,
right?
And it's already started. So do we now have to uncouple to follow this FBA or freedmen ideology?
Pan mulatto.
So I'm gonna
be thinking about that for weeks.
I'm supposed to pick others over my wife because they're Black Americanness or United Statesism in this is like I'm so I'm a traitor already. In fact, they come on my post like, I told my wife the other day, I said, look, they think that I'm doing this fight because they think I'm trying to protect like my relationship. Like, that's not even like how I was thinking. I wasn't even thinking that my wife is Jamaican. I've been with her since I was 16. So I wasn't even thinking like that because I always grew up in a household that said we're the same. So I wasn't even considering like, oh, she's something different. Now I know she got a different accent, but I see her as the same as me, just with a different accent.
But check this out, Doc, what's really crazy. Check this out. We came on here talking about Tariq Nasheed's harm with dividing Black people globally. And what he did was he came in talking crazy. It's not making any sense. No one can say that Tariq Nasheed is right for causing division of our people.
Absolutely.
Nobody. The FBA, it doesn't make sense.
They move the goalposts.
They're moving the goalposts. And it doesn't make sense.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. You can say what you are. You can complain about the issues we have. You can talk about people talking about us from other places.
KP, I got you.
But it doesn't make sense to talk about something that's crazy as far as him disrespecting Jamaicans and disrespecting Africans and disrespecting Pan-Africans. It doesn't make sense of what he's doing. You can believe in what you believe, but the global aspect and talking about people that look like you.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about that.
I appreciate you bringing it back to center.
You got to.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's why I asked the question. So even if it is, what's the what we doing here?
That's why I was kind of asking, what do you identify with? You know, are you saying like
it's fear based?
Yeah, like.
But you know what? Honestly, let's be honest with you. I feel like he's a diversion.
Bingo.
Because like his name itself is like, should I even entertain it? I mean, because I'm an academic, so I entertain and give people a fair chance. But I think that was he's confusing. And my conceptualization is this. I don't have the evidence. I don't know this person. It's not a diagnosis. That the fact that you are Pan Mulatto is sharing that you have some identity conflict going on. You have an identity crisis of your own that you haven't really fully dealt with, but you're now over here trying to deal with this where you haven't already dealt with the fact that you Pan Mulatto, that you're mulatto. And there's nothing wrong. And I'm not coming for anybody who's mulatto. I'm not coming for anybody who's mulatto, and I won't even go historically in that term, but I won't. But what I will say is this. There are people within our community, whether you're mulatto, quadroon, whatever you want. He started talking about you're using a white man's gaze to make your decisions, but he's a mulatto. He think that he made that up. He think that like what I'm saying is like, yeah, like it's not working. But why is he working so hard to continuously to put out false information? And my cousin baked him.
Baked him hard.
He baked him on the show last week, letting him know. Now, it looked like my cousin's doing some research. The proper perspective. Please do the research for me on there. I know you've probably read it. Please come and clear it up for me before we have these other callers come up.
It's crazy.
Hold on, I think you're on mute there, brother. Cuz.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm looking for even a kernel of the truth that he's trying to present. And so I'm like, no matter what, like I said, because he wanted to base this whole thing in a Chat GPT section, I'm asking Chat GPT to make sure I don't straw man his argument. And again, the Chat GPT is like, you're not straw manning. He what did it say? It says he's moving the goalposts from a factual claim about demographics to an emotional hypothetical framing. It's a classic pivot. Instead of defending the original statement, he's trying to appeal to fear and urgency. And again, it says that just in general, the so-called foundational Black American population is around 45 million. Well, the African-born U.S. residents and the Caribbean-born Black residents is around 4.7 million. So just in general, 4.7 million cannot outrun 45 million, can't outpopulate, can't overcrowd. It just don't happen that way. You can't have 4 million people you know what I'm saying, unless you're talking about isn't real and bombing Palestine, people moving into the neighborhood, it just doesn't work that way. And again, most of the African Americans that have moved, they moved before Black immigrants came in. So they moved. If 50,000 people moved out of the city, Now you got 50,000 empty units, and they went somewhere else. And now here comes 50,000 Black immigrants. That's not displacing you. You already gone.
Hold up. You know, something just popped in my head. Please help me flesh this out. I could be off here, but I'm gonna flesh it out on live.
Okay.
Is he literally blaming like okay, let's say we're not populating as much. Okay, we're not having children as much. Is he blaming that on Africans and Caribbeans coming here? Hold up. I really want you to follow me here. Like, okay, let's say that Black Americans are the numbers are dwindling. Let's say that. Although I don't think it's really showing that and too significantly. But who is he blaming that on if that is the case?
That's why I was saying he's hurting himself, because he has to blame it on his community that he's upset with.
Well, how so? How is he making that claim? Like, what are they doing? The immigrants are coming in and removing penises out of vaginas?
The brother was all over the place, and the sad part
that was a joke. You both laugh. You too serious.
No, it's crazy because the sad part about that, Doc, is when you start to speak education and you speak facts, and people really throw this crazy stuff out here that doesn't make sense whatsoever. And I'm trying to ask them, well, what's that got to do with us unifying and coming together, though? Like, you know, sometimes people are just so caught up in what they want to do and what they want to believe and what they want to fight for that they go down with the shit. You know, I was listening. I might have sent you a clip of that. Shout out to UNIA YouTube, UNIA Rock Media. Check it out. President General Michael Duncan was with our first assistant president general, and first assistant president general Raymond Duguay was talking to an African American sister, and he said, "You know, I'm Haitian," and he said the president general is Jamaican. He said, "You know why we get along?" She said, "Why? Because you from Caribbean?" "No, because we African." And he said, "You're African American. So you know why we love you? Because you African." I
saw that clip.
We talking about building,
powerful,
and this man's
clip,
calling himself a mulatto. He don't know what he identifies with. He talking about immigrants. He's calling up people immigrants. He's just lost. And then he's unaware of his own facts. And this is the ignorance that's spewing out in our community.
Yeah, because
why we got
the fact that it has us even here sitting, like trying to look at it.
We know he's wrong, but we got to pull it up. And he's
even what is the validity of the question? What is he saying? The immigrants are coming. I just want to say it again. The Jamaicans and the Nigerians are coming and pulling the penises out of the vaginas of African American people. I'm like, what is he like? So, like, what is he saying? Like, is he not blaming it on eugenics, or like he's not doing that? Who? How does that have anything to do with? What is that? What is
it has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
See, you're an educator.
I mean, as educated as I think I am, I had to think about it.
Now I know what you're saying, but you're an educator, so you're trying to get your psychological, mental to prepare for what he's saying. But in a sense, he's a BSer. He's not making any sense. He's unintelligent. He's not speaking facts. He's just somebody that's ignorant. And we wasting, look at this. We're focusing on that. And that's the type of things that they're doing, that we have to make sure that we come with the proper education.
They say Dennis is too old to be jealous of another man. You should hold up. You know what gets me with that? That they will say stuff like that. If I sit here and talk about one guy named Tariq, one guy, maybe I throw Umar in there every now and again, but I'm not even messing with Umar right now, because at least he talked better. Umar, Black Power. But look, right now, Umar, I'm not even messing with you. Open that goddamn school up and heal. But what I will say is this: I'm talking about one man. But this guy sits around on the internet every day and talk about everybody. He talks about all the celebrities, the Democratic shills, Jasmine Crockett. He talks about Al Sharpton and this one and that one. He talks about Dr. John Henry Clark. Even he talks about. I think he even has a mirror on his wall. He got the people talking. You know, he talks about. He talks about Baba Small.
He ain't talking about building.
He's not talking about building. He's
not talking about
no,
unifying.
just delineating.
I see what I'm saying.
Delineate.
See what I'm saying?
Just delineating, brother. Let's do that again for the camera. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Unity, brother. Black power.
Just
we
delineating,
don't got time
brother.
for that. We don't got time for that, and that's why we got to really stay focused. We got to speak up, but we also can't be distracted. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's why I'm. I always love your platform, and that's why whenever you hit me up, I'm on, because the things you're saying about Marcus Garvey, but you're not talking about the unity and him building and the positive stuff. And then you differentiate our Black leaders when they've all paid the price. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're causing division, and that's not cool. And people are following that and spreading more division to people that look like them.
Yeah.
And that is a problem that has to stop.
So brother President, I'm not gonna keep you here no longer. I'm gonna ask brother KP to come on. KP know how to make something make sense. So I'm gonna bring KP up. No. I'm gonna try Darkest Brandon one more time, and then I'll bring KP, because KP has a way of like just bringing things to some order. So I would like to, and then my cousin, I want him to end strong, because I know he has some things, but I don't know what Darkest Brandon is talking about. So let's let him go first. If not, he'll try next week. Awesome. Darkest Brandon, one more time. We're gonna try you one more again. What's going on, brother? Where you calling from?
Okay, I'm attacking. With my blue eyes.
Oh yeah. Hold on. I don't. Can you hear him, cuz? No, I think he's done. I think.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Come closer to the phone, brother.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, you on speaker?
Are you on speaker?
I can have my lower.
Can you hear him, cuz?
Barely.
He might be talking to somebody else.
Oh, he might be talking to somebody. All right, brother.
Sound like he talking somewhere else.
Oh, he having fun. Okay, he probably talking to Tariq. Hey, James Harlem. I don't know what James. 2 minutes.
Oh, how you doing, my good brother?
Peace. 2 minutes.
Yeah. I just wanted to emphasize the importance of delineation.
Peace, brother James. How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm all right, good brother. Can you hear me?
Brother James, but that's not the conversation today. So we're not gonna go into your bag of delineation and importance today.
Okay.
What's the question that you had for the people, brother President? What's the question? You said they're not asking about the unity is important for the unity.
Yeah.
Can you ask Brother Harlem that question? If not, he got to go.
What do you feel about people that divide people that look like you instead of just moving forward with the goals and building? Like, what do you feel about that? What is the purpose of it? Why do it? You can, if you want to build FBA, build FBA. Why tear other people that look like you down?
I don't co-sign any. I don't co-sign any individual just tearing people down just because they have the ability to do that. I don't believe in people just separating people for nefarious. I would say that word, for nefarious reasons. I do believe in foundational Black Americans delineating ourselves.
Hold on. Again, I said you've done that 1,000 times already. We want to talk about Tariq Nasheed, and I'm not sure how long you've been here, but I started out even showing his website and how he goes on daily and he characterizes and mischaracterizes and caricaturizes Africans, Blacks, Caribbeans. If you go to his website, what do you say to that? It's pervasive in his. He makes caricatures of them every day.
It sounds like you said you don't agree with him, right? You don't agree with that, correct?
No, I did not say that. I said that is his platform, the same way this is Doc's platforms.
So let me ask you again. No, listen to what carefully, good brother. This is an important question. Do you believe that that is cool? Do you believe that that is productive? Do you believe that that is okay for someone on their platform for no reason whatsoever to tear down other people that look like you? That's a yes or no question.
I would say yes, because you didn't frame it fairly. You said for no reason. There are people that call our show and he will be polite with them, and then they would say something that would shift the whole thing. Now, his reaction to their negativity is his reaction. And I can't tell anyone how to react if they feel that they were harmed. So
hold your thought right there. I got a follow-up. I got a follow-up for you. Why are people calling his platform with negativity? Why are you even entertaining that when you're supposed to just be building? Why do that? Don't you think that's causing division?
He has an open platform, and you can call, I can call, anyone can call. He can't, and I can't predict how someone is going to.
If you're on a platform, you have your platform, and I call up and say, man, I'm Jamaican, I hate FBA, you wouldn't say, brother, that's not cool, you out of here, you'll entertain that negativity?
How I conduct myself is how I conduct myself.
I understand that.
Why would you ask me that question?
Would you conduct yourself that way?
I can't say for sure. I can't say definitively because I don't have a platform. So I can say, yeah, I'm going to meet. I can say anything, but I'm not there. So
but
I
you
can't
say definitively
that
you can definitively say that you agree with him and his psyops. I'm sorry, his movement.
I'm not quite sure.
Brother, you on the fence, brother. You on the fence because you know it's wrong and you don't want to say it's wrong because you support his platform.
I appreciate that.
You on the fence, brother. Come on, man. We trying to build here.
I mean, I was 100 with you.
We talking about black power globally, and you procrastinating, brother. You bullshit. Excuse my language. You procrastinating, brother. I wouldn't do it.
You have a right to your opinion.
You know in your heart.
Brother.
You know in your heart that it's wrong to disrespect and call another black man ugly and fat and talk about his character. You know it's wrong to entertain division of our people because you on the fence with it because you support his platform. I'm not saying you don't have to support his platform. I'm saying as a black man, where do you stand for black power, brother? And you on the fence because you know you're wrong in how you're thinking. You want to support the platform. You want to support the movement. But at the same time, you know in your heart, it is not cool to be calling other black people ugly, especially Marcus Garvey, and disrespecting our leaders that said black power and race first and coming together. You know that's wrong. You know that's not how you build. That's how you destroy. You know in your heart because you on the fence. So you can support the platform. I'm not telling you not to, but I'm talking to you as a man and I'm listening to you, how you moving in your heart. And it seems to me you wrong no matter what you say. And I'm praying that you come to some realization that breaking down people that look like you isn't cool. Build whatever you want to build, but you don't gotta put characters of black people in a demeaning way on your website to prove what point. Come on, brother. Don't be on the fence with it.
Okay.
Speak the truth. I'm talking to you out of love, brother. Come on, because you saying I don't know. If you don't know,
can I talk to you out of love?
Go ahead, brother.
I mean, can I talk to you out of love?
And
I appreciate it if I appreciate it if the love I'm sharing is not interrupted.
Go
ahead,
brother.
I told you before, I'm the type of person like this. If you hit me unwarranted, just hit me. Don't tell me I can't blow your brains out because you had no business hitting me. You can't say I'm overreacting. You can't do none of that because you should have kept it pushing. So his reaction.
I'm done with him, brother. Right
yeah,
now.
because I'm gonna say one thing real quick. I can guarantee you, Jamaica's wasn't calling his platform just going against FBA until he started doing all of that first. I can tell you that. And if they was, he should immediately say, "Yo, where's this coming from? We don't got nothing against Jamaicans. We don't got nothing against Africans," and move forward for it. But you're not explaining the characters and all this and that. And you're not explaining going at Pan-Africans who believe that who Jamaicans love Black Americans. You're not even mentioning that. So, brother, you're phony, you fake. And I feel sorry for you because you couldn't even man up and speak the truth. You talking someone hit you in the mouth, if someone hit you, you'll shoot him. But first of all, if another Black man hits you in your mouth and you gotta go pull a gun, then you ain't a tough individual anyway. So I can't even talk to you, brother. Come on, man up and put your guards up and take an ass whipping like a man. You gotta be gone, brother.
That's
sorry
why,
about cussing.
No problem. I appreciate your passion. I messed the screen up here, but what I do want to say is I appreciate my brother Harlem. I don't know. I like you said, we love you, but the reality is you sound like it sounds very childish. And what I mean is, and this is why I always say the FBA is hurt, because the fact that he's saying that all it takes is some individuals in one community to say a thing gives Tariq Nasheed and others like him
to blast a whole community,
community relentlessly and pervasively and for an eternity is ridiculous. You won't even tell your children at school to do something foolish like that. I'm questioning.
I got a question. That sister that called defending Marcus Garvey, did she call Tariq ugly?
No, she didn't call it. She was very cordial.
So, but Tariq went and called Marcus Garvey a fat, ugly. I mean, he might have said bastard, but I know he said fat, ugly. So what that's fighting fist for fist? No, that's totally uncalled for.
I
That's
appreciate that. Absolutely.
That's totally uncalled for and unnecessary. And if that brother feels that kind of way, then he ain't a brother. He ain't a brother. And I hate to say it, but if someone was to walk up to you and hit you in your mouth, you probably deserve it, because you're not about building. You're about destroying. And I'm about building.
Definitely not a developed brother. Definitely not, when we look at from an African-centered perspective, a man, because we're still dealing with boyish ways, even if it got to the level of boy, because some of this stuff we're talking about is still at the male level, meaning that it's just a biological reality. You're not even Tariq is a boy, but also taps right into his maleness survival mechanisms. And his followers are hurt like that too, because we haven't developed. And I'm saying this in care and love, that we have not gone through the proper rites of passages. We have not gone through the proper initiations, and somehow we believe we're men. And I'm not saying none of us. You've gone through rite of passage. I've gone to rite of passage. Professor Shabazz gone through rite of passage. And again, we do this. I do this in love because I understand how people are sick. I'm not surprised by it. So at the end of the day, though, sometimes you gotta smack the shit out of somebody to heal them.
No doubt.
And I'm not saying physically, but sometimes physically as well.
I'm with you.
So Professor Shabazz, I'm having some technical difficulties on this station right now. Okay. You know what? Cuz I think you have access to this. Let me do this. We got James Harlem in the back. We got John Kane. And John Kane, 2 minutes, please. And I'm out at 2 minutes. Brother President, we're gonna have to get out of here because you're looking at your watch, but you're also talking. So look, look, don't hold me responsible.
No, you good, brother.
All right, so John Kane, please, 2 minutes, and let's be cordial and respectful. I remember your name though, so you might be you're already good.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? Peace. How y'all doing today?
Yeah, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Florida right now, boy.
Okay, let's talk.
So I just so I have 2 minutes, so I just want to let everybody who's listening, for the mulatto guy, look up The Elite Mulatto by W.E. Du Bois, because I noticed these people are going back into their lineage. So they're probably looking up these books and stuff. And mulatto, I could have sworn was taken out of our terminology a while ago. But I guess we're going backwards again. And then the other thing was with Garvey. Yeah, Garvey. So Garvey, he didn't hold white people to basically up on a pedestal. W. Du Bois and what's the other one? Booker T. Washington. They were not saying that Booker T. Washington didn't align more with Garvey, but as I said, they held white people more to on a higher standard. So like that's my basic 2 minutes. I just want people to just do their research, and I don't want to say too much. I'm not trying to, go against nobody. I'm just telling people just to do their research.
I just want to be clear that I heard you correctly, though. You said that Garvey didn't or did hold white people to a higher standard.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Okay, just want to be clear.
No,
right.
they held W. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. They put white people more on a pedestal, and they they didn't feel that they were approachable. But Garvey didn't fear no white man.
And I appreciate it. And he was inspired by who?
Who, Garvey?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that far into it, but I'm getting more information.
What's one of the people that inspired him? President Winchester.
One of the people was the father Pan-African, Brother Blyden, and it's a bunch of others. And I give it to you. The good brother Emotep did a phenomenal piece on people before Garvey.
Yeah.
That was a phenomenal question, because we always.
He was also inspired by one of the brothers that he mentioned.
Who did
Booker T. Washington?
Oh yeah, of course. He actually didn't have a chance to meet Booker T at that particular time.
Yeah.
I don't know about Booker T putting white people on a pedestal, but a lot of Booker T's philosophies of building and things of that nature for our people. He was definitely with and Booker T has I forgot the name of that book. Dang.
Up from Slavery.
Yeah.
What's that? It might be it. Up from Slavery.
That might be one of them. I'm not sure.
I think that. But it's a powerful book about Booker T. And yes, Garvey wanted to meet him, but by the time he went there, Booker T had passed.
And one other thing I want you to kind of bring back around, because I did it early and we're on a long broadcast, some people just come in. You also said something about Du Bois in his later life, and then we'll go to James Harlan.
Yeah, and it's funny that the brother mentioned W.B. Du Bois. Tariq,
thank you, Brother King.
Tariq was talking about these so-called people, FBAs that got Garvey out of there. It was a Garvey movement, and W.B. Du Bois was in charge, not in charge maybe, but one of the main people pushing that movement. And later in his life, as he was in Africa, he said Garvey was right.
True.
He said Garvey was right. So when you hear Tariq talk, he's not saying the whole full story. And also, it goes back to why you even speaking such negative BS and not building and not creating unity for our people. Grown men do that. Grown men don't pay attention to the petty stuff. They focus on the stuff that matters to create unity. That's what we do. We trying to build here.
I just find this to be funny, right? I just don't want to be called an African. The hurt, brothers and sisters. I mean, like, do you want to be called an American though? I won't go there, brother. I won't call you African. You know what I mean? We won't do that. But brother KP, come on, bring look,
yo. Yeah, yes indeed.
What it be?
Chilling. Hey, props to President Winchester. Back on the show again. Props to you, Dr. Winkler, and to the whole panel and everybody who's been up here. I just want to make a quick big up the proper perspective for demonstrating a key important lesson. I hope you guys got it. That it's not about the tool or the technology that's employed. It's the purpose for which you draw that technology and that tool, right? And that's the mistake that the FBA keeps on making. They think they can chat GPT and Google some facts, and then they weaponize it to degrade other Black people, as you know, the president and others have been pointing out. And it's just wrong. You could take those same stats or those same facts and contextualize it a totally different way. For instance, they often point to the census, right? They say the census shows this, the census shows that. When they fail to take into account that the census is I forget the word for it, but every 10 years, and the criteria changes every 10 years.
Right.
The census has only accounted for ethnic and national differences among Black populations recently. So what does that mean? That means that when you look at census stats from, let's say, 1910, 1920, they have a lump Black total that includes Black immigrants, but they're not counting Black immigrants at that time. And so one of the mistakes they do is they then say, look at the population of African Americans in 1920, and then look at the population in 2020, and they show a different relation to different Black groups, right? They're not getting to the metadata. They're not going deep enough into the data that they are citing. And then second thing, they don't understand the fact that there's this thing called assimilation that occurs by all people, right? The United States and all Western countries are suffering from a low birth rate. Their population growth is stunting, right? You got to look at Nell Painter, right? Nell Painter's History of White People from 2010. She has something called the Fourth Enlargement Thesis in this book. And in the Fourth Enlargement Thesis, she talks about how upper middle class Blacks are actually taking on, resembling the attitudes, the behaviors, the patterns of middle class whites. And this is affecting African American population growth rates. So why do I bring this up? Because the difference between more recently arriving immigrants, Black immigrants, is that they come from disproportionately places of the world where that population growth issue is not it's not the same. So they're having more babies, they're coming from larger family networks, and since the bulk of immigrants have come more recently post 1965, a lot of times this shows up. This shows up as Black immigrant population growing faster than, let's say, African Americans who have longer roots. But here's the kicker, and I'll end here. Really, it's meaningless because studies also show that guess what happens to the Black immigrants after just one generation? They've assimilated into African American culture, and they start to resemble and have the same population patterns and growth as regular Black people. They don't retain their distinctiveness. They don't retain these ethnic differences that the FBA like to point to as some concrete wall that can't be passed. Black immigrants become African Americans, and they have been becoming Black African Americans from the beginning. It's just that in the beginning, those Black groups were involuntary because there was a thing called slavery, right? But there were always new Black bodies coming in and being assimilated into the Black populations in the United States up to 1807, 1808. You stop, or the British government and then the United States banned the importation of new slaves. We know some still were smuggled in, but so the point is this. Idea, I'll end right here. The idea of a homogeneous, monolithic, unchanging, native Black American it's false. It's historically false. It's patently false. And I'll end there.
Yeah, and I want to be very clear though, and I appreciate what you shared, that when you say African American, you're speaking about something different than what FBA says when they're talking about African American as an ethnic group, perhaps and the immigrants, the Jamaican, like the Bahamian first generation people are now claiming to be African American. I mean, even if they use it, the research shows that that's in solidarity.
Wait.
That's in solidarity. And two, the second generations also struggle with it. In fact, the research showed that people feel like they're almost forced to kind of identify as African American. But with that being said, they're at the generations, people typically do that. They typically identify in the land they were born on. Quite like if I was to go to Jamaica and then they might call me foreign or something like that. But after several generations, my children will be called Jamaican. So what I'm saying is not something that is different in any other place. This is typically what happens. I just want to bring that point of clarity.
No, 100%. That is absolutely true. And then one last thing. If we look at the Caribbean, right, for instance, a mobility and migration is part of the identity of Caribbean people. Why? Because they live on islands and labor is scarce. So if there are no jobs, you have to do something called move. The same way that African Americans in the South in the early 20th century moved north to take advantage of jobs. There's this one of Tariq Nasheed's famous lies is this whole flee narrative. Oh, your people fleed. We got it popping over here, is what he said, right?
Man.
What is the Great Migration then?
Really? He keeps saying that. Y'all fleed your country. We held it down and fought over here.
If somebody was mean spirited, they could say, well, your ancestors fled to New York City or to Chicago. Why didn't they stay and fight the KKK in the South? You see what I'm saying? But that would be a disingenuous, stupid historical argument to make. And I just say that to point out what they are doing.
I appreciate that, Kerry, because look, that's the closest you got to ever making a critique of a quote unquote FBA person. Because my man Kerry, he's very skillful at not trying. Look, Kerry, hold up, Kerry. They call me the Pan-African peacemaker. You skillful too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kerry come in and he treats quote unquote FBA and quote, I'm going to say African Americans with love and care. Because, you know, he understands that it's about us unifying and he doesn't want to intentionally cause harm. So even he prefaced his statement saying, you know what, if someone wanted to, I'm not saying this, but if someone wanted to, they could say you flee from the South and moved up to the North. I think that's an accurate assessment. And I'll just say it. Yes, someone could easily say that. And there's African Americans that I know who want to go to Africa right now. Let's talk about that. You know, and other places. He said he one of them. Brother Kerry, I appreciate you coming in. I missed you anyhow, so I'm glad you jumped on. You always a very settled mind, always very articulate. And so, look, I need y'all to come in because I'm thinking about this statistics in real time. Like, you know, I need y'all to do that because I'm like, hold up, is this guy even? I'm trying to process it. Like, okay,
you was looking like, where is he coming from? This can't be right, but. Where did he get it? You was like, really? And I was tripping like, this don't make no sense. But you was trying to give him a benefit of the doubt.
I was trying to say, let me just take a step back and think. Like,
once you researched it, you was like, hold on,
statistically doesn't make sense. But even though, again, I'm going to say it one more time. Does he think that Jamaicans are taking the phalluses out of the vaginas of other black FBA?
I don't know what he's
saying. I mean, like that, or deciding whether or not they abort their children. Does he believe that has something to do with black immigrants?
I don't know what he's thinking or what he's saying because I'm still getting caught over the fact that he's the pan mulatto.
Yeah, the pan mulatto. Hey, brother, cuz I'm gonna let you go. I know you got some stuff, and then I'm gonna let President Everett close it out, and then we'll be on our merry way.
Okay.
What you got there, cuz?
All I'm gonna say is you brothers did an excellent job breaking everything down. Y'all know we are up against a real powerful enemy. They have handpicked their sellouts, and their sellouts are going to be grinding this today the same way they did in the 60s and 70s. FBA critiques of Garvey always fall apart under scrutiny. And FBA have never met a fact that they couldn't twist up like a pretzel. That's all I'm going to say. Peace.
Oh, man. I appreciate it. Brother President, you know, I really appreciate you coming by. You know, I mean, I know you're a busy guy, and I know that y'all have scheduled events on Wednesdays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had to get a meeting covered, but this is important. You know, this is important.
Yeah. So with that, I really appreciate you coming by, and what I just want you to leave something on the people. You know, first of all, I do want you to share how they can get in contact with you, or just the UNIA in general, internationally, because we have people just tuning in from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because I must say this before I close. One of the things I really like that you did, man, I really like what you did today, and it's an angle. It's an angle. I think we look. You know how Tariq has his he creates the way of their apologetics, or the way that they fight. What President Winchester did today was saying, hold up, what is he building?
Right.
And he held down on that point. What is he building? It even had me going to the point to say, hold up, what organization does he say join? He doesn't have an alternative. He doesn't have an alternative, but he tears them down. And FBA is not an organization, he says. So what organizations? He's probably going to do a video on it and start talking about the organization that he support. You know, like you can tell clearly that they're like conservatives, honestly. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, I really appreciate that point that you what do they call it? You bunkered down or hunkered, whatever the word is, down on. And that is like, what is he building? So with that, talk to the people, leave your closing words, let them know how to get in contact with you, and do all the things that you wasn't able to articulate at this moment, and you just going to send us home.
Yes, you can definitely reach us at UNIA-ACL government, or if you can hit our local website, we can get you connected, and that is UNIA106.org, UNIA106.org. And I just plead that we build, not destroy. We need to come together. I saw comments about Dr. Claude Anderson in the chat and FBA, and it's just there's so much hatred going on. And we always say in the UNIA, no one's coming to save us but us. And us is people that look like us. If you have any ideologies, if you have anything that's not Pan-African, and you feel that you can build a certain way, go for that. But to destroy people that are saying that they want to unite globally, it's just not a good look. It's not cool. It's not positive. And it's something about hate and division that we just don't need in this day and time. You know, we have to come together and unite under one. And until we get to that level, we're always going to be on the bottom. We're always going to be having the worst education and the worst schools and the violence and the crime, because we are always divided and we can't come together. We can't decide on things. The time is now. I love all my people from Jamaica and the Caribbean and in Africa. And if you look like me and you got that melanin in you, you black, I love you. And all I can say is one God, one aim, one destiny. Let's grow together. Let's build, and let's destroy all the competition out there that's trying to divide us. And the one message to Tariq, I mean, you can easily stop this and just talk about building FBA if that's what you choose to do. But it seems to me that you're trying to do something as far as destroying the community. I'm praying you're not an agent. I'm praying that you can come to a decision and say, hey, we're just going to focus on us. And also, I don't want to say a whole bunch of characters of our people. Put characters of other cultures. How about that? Go with them a little bit more than you go with your own. And let's build, family. One love.
I appreciate that, dear brother, President Winchester. You know, it's always a great build with you, honestly. Like,
appreciate you.
You know, it's like a great build. You know, the people in the building, you know, they're showing love. They appreciate the energy. I mean, I really appreciate the energy. I want to say before we get out of here, family, make sure you thumb up this video. You comment when it's published. You share it. far and wide. As people who identify with Pan-Africanism, I say I challenge us to do more. I challenge us to see the war that we're against. I think that we made a great case today from the beginning of the mischaracterization or the caricaturing of our brothers and sisters across the world, even to the point that, my dear brother, President Winchester, held my brother, lost brother, James Harlem accountable and say, get off the fence, man. Stop playing. You know it's wrong.
That's right.
Don't pussyfoot around. That's he came strong for him. Sometimes you got to come strong, and I appreciate that because James Harlem, I let him on every week. I think he mean well, but he lost.
Yeah, lost, brother.
You know what I mean? He's lost, and he somehow he think he's witty. He think he witty. I'll just leave it there. But again, like, share, and subscribe. And I really appreciate you coming on again, family. I thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the membership, as I will be having I'll be putting things there, my thoughts, my reflection, uncut type of material, when I'm driving in the car, communicating in those ways without the lights and all the things, because you see brother Winchester looking, you see his arms looking, he working out. I see
You funny, man.
Hey, look, you can see it from the last time. I saw. You say about to say.
You funny, man.
Yeah, he working out. Look, he said.
Working out.
He said.
I've been getting in the gym. We gotta get the gut down. Health, family, health. I'm getting older, so we got to focus on health.
Yeah, he said, look, keep Marcus Garvey out of your mouths. And with no further ado, family, I echo those sentiments. Leave Pan-Africanism out of your mouth. And anybody who is Pan-Africanist or African-centered or the like, don't take these things lightly. It is warfare. Peace and power.
When you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back.
Generalized black woman is